We are live.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Town of East Hampton Architectural Review Board today, November 12th, 2020. I'd like to welcome everybody and open the meeting with the approval for the minutes from our last meeting, which was October 22nd, 2020. Can I get a second on the approval of the minutes? Peter?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, our first item on the agenda is Historic District and Landmark, Sean McPherson, tax map number 300-32-6-3, 139 DeForest Road in Montauk. And Michael, I think Britton Bistrian will be on the line for this.
I see her on the phone. I will unmute her right now.
Great.
Hello, caller. You're live.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Miss Bistrian, are you there?
Yeah, he's in his own mind.
Hello, caller. Miss Bistrian, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Matt.
It's
We are
Michael.
live.
Hi,
We are
Britton.
live.
It's Betsy. How are you doing today?
I agree.
I'm good. How are you, Becky?
Good. Okay, I'm going to have Chip read
afternoon,
into
members
the
of the board.
record
I
the
agree.
application and give us a little background on what we're doing and what you're here in front of us for today, okay?
Yep.
Okay, thank
So
you.
this is an application for remediation plan for a residential lot in the
got
Montauk.
it.
So
I already know who it's going to be. It's going to be my client-wise. I know who it's going to be.
I apologize. That's a Zoom participant. I'm muting now. Continue.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is an application for a remediation plan for a residential lot in the Montauk Association Historic District. The applicant first submitted an extensive historically accurate application in 2015 and 16 to rebuild the association clubhouse, which had burned in 1933, along with a one-story three-car garage and a one-story pool house and a pool. The clubhouse was never built, but in 2017, a two-story three-car garage with a gabled roof and modern Anderson windows was. Also built was a pool and a one-story pool house that did not conform to the original plans. The applicant is now seeking a C of O for the property, and we have urged him to remediate the garage and pool house, taking them back to the original designs, which were historically accurate and approved by this board. Accordingly, the applicant now proposes on the garage to remove the second-story gable roof, all of the Anderson windows, and rebuild it as a one-story hip roof structure with traditional garage doors and a traditional wooden side door. Roofing and siding are to be cedar shingles. On the pool house, is reworking an open timber frame porch with an Adirondack-style feeling to it. It will all now be a cedar shingled roof, cedar shingle sided walls, and cedar shingled supporting columns on the porch. An open-end gable on the porch will be enclosed with cedar shingles. The trim of these buildings is to be natural cedar, and where there's sash windows, they will be painted using Benjamin Moore Chelsea gray, which is a nice middle tone gray. This is a remarkable solution to a challenging problem, which preserves the historic integrity of the property and the larger Montauk Association Historic District. Here you see some pictures of what they're proposing: the new sash windows, the Chelsea gray, the gabled, looks like the gable part is going to be the enclosure of the pool house, which is now open, and this open timber frame thing. Derek, I had some other photos of the garage, the old and new.
So let me just ask you, just to clarify, so the support beams, which are decorative in the front of the pool house facing the pool, that goes away and it's going to be closed up that peak with shingles, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So this is the original garage that we approved with the hip roof, three-car garage, one story. And Derek, next.
Yeah, let's go through the plans.
This is what was built. Next. And this is what they propose to remediate. So they'll be taking off the second story and putting a different roof on and taking out a number of Anderson windows with no windows in the garage. And then under the pool house.
Wait, is there any doors on, that they show for the,
Yes, one door, side door. Yeah. It's on the far left side. You can't see it. It's a panel door with.
but isn't there an elevation with the door?
Derek has it. I just, these are photos I took from the submission to make it simple and clean.
Okay.
It's an 8 glazed window door with a panel below it.
Okay.
That's the pool house as built. So you see the columns that are resting on stone piers. You see the open Adirondack style porch, and you see the Anderson windows. And then the next one is what they plan on remediating. So filling in that gable end, taking off the stone piers, shingling the columns, putting historically accurate 6/1 windows. The windows will be trimmed in cedar and painted Chelsea gray. And that door there you see, Betsy, on the left is the same door that's on the garage.
Right. And then the other door that is to the right, that will be a solid door, painted gray.
I guess Britton maybe will walk us through that. Britton, do you want to talk a little bit?
Yes, I'm not looking, I can't obviously be seeing the drawings that you're looking at right now, so could you just tell me what drawing you have up on the screen?
Yeah, they're the new drawings that the new architect submitted, and I juxtaposed them against what the actuality was, what's there now, and then in the garage, what was originally planned.
Yeah, so here's the plans here.
And
Let's go through them. Okay.
So this is the
Are
pool
you speaking
house.
of the 2 man doors in the pool house?
Yes.
Yeah. Looks like they're both window doors with paneled bottoms, yeah.
No, if you look at what Derek has on the screen, you have on the left what's before, and then you have on the right, which is what you photographed, and it's a solid door to the right.
Okay, so that's.
I don't have a problem with that. Does
Right.
anybody else?
The door to the right is solid because it's a bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's also a door down in the basement, down those steps on the right, and that must be, what, a solid door too, Britton?
Correct, there's mechanical equipment down there, so it's a solid door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's fine. You'll rarely see it.
I think this is a significant improvement.
I do too. I'm very pleased with it. Thank you very much, Britton, for working with the client on this.
I appreciate the board's approval. This has sort of been a long road, and we want to right the ship, so we'd be happy to move forward.
Okay, great. So, Chip, you want to go ahead and make I
make a motion that on the on 130 DeForest Road, that we approve the plans to remediate the garage to a 1-story hip roof building with no windows and 1 traditional side door, with the garage doors as indicated, which were the original garage doors on the 2016 plan. And everything is to be shingled, the roof, the siding. And on the pool house, changes to the gable end, which will be enclosed. The columns will be shingled. The building itself will be shingled. The windows will be historically accurate windows, painted Chelsea gray with cedar trim. And the doors will be traditional doors, either solid or with 8 windows and a panel below.
right.
Excuse me, Chip, I think you said 130 instead of 139.
139 DeForest Road, yeah. Sorry.
And referencing in the elevations that were submitted for this meeting.
Yes.
There isn't any indication for any exterior lighting on this. Will there be?
No lighting is proposed.
Is there any current lighting on either one of the buildings now?
No, I don't think.
No.
Certainly not on the garage.
Is there any lighting up in the patio part of the pool house at the ceiling? There has to be some lighting there, right?
No, there's no requirement by building code to have lighting at non-habitable buildings, so there is no lighting.
Okay, all right. So we'll make note that there's no lighting. on either the garage or the pool house. Okay, can I get a second on that, Peter?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Esperanza, did I hear from you? Yes?
Yes, aye.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, so we're good to go. Thank you so much, Britton.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you,
Brittany.
Chairman. May I just interject one thing? I have the next agenda item, not the next one, but the subsequent one, the Eve and Joshua Wiener Trust. And I did send an email to Derek, and I just wanted to confirm that we have tabled that for this evening. And I want to make
Yes,
sure that you
we have.
the board received that.
Yes,
Okay,
we did.
thank you very
and
much.
we confirmed the postponement till next meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
All right, thanks, Britton. All right, good night. So I'm going to move on to agricultural overlay, which is 55 Wainscott Hollow Road, LLC, tax map number 300-196-1-2149 Wainscott Hollow Road in Wainscott. And Michael, we're looking for someone from JC Construction Management, please, on the line.
Good evening, Mary Jane Osato. I'm with the law firm of Burke, Flanagan & Osato, 21 South Main Street for the applicant.
Hi, Mary. How are you
Good
today?
evening.
Good evening.
Good afternoon, late afternoon.
Yes.
I believe that previously on a pro se basis, my client had submitted an application. I just want to bring to your board that has been withdrawn in its entirety, and the packet that you have before you certainly did incorporate the comments that they had received earlier, but it is a brand new application, so we'd like to be a de novo case. The application before you is for a new construction. It's actually the first house that's going to be going in on this recently approved subdivision. Just in case this building lot is a little bit over 80,000 square feet. It's located in the R5 district, which is 5-acre zoning. It is unusual in the sense that to the east of this, of course, you have the much smaller 20,000 square foot homes. To the west a bit across the street, I think there's a combination between 60,000 and 80,000. And to the north, although it's an A5, it abuts a small agricultural reserve, and there's a combination of building lots there that are also less than 80,000 square feet. Now, this is not a lot that's fronting on Wainscott Hollow. If you look at the subdivision map, there is one intervening building lot between this property and the Wainscott Hollow Road. So I'm just sort of giving you a setting situation here. Of course, the south side of this lot does abut up against the agricultural reserve of this subdivision. The house is situated centrally on the lot. If you look at David Saskis' survey that was submitted with your application, you will clearly note that it far exceeds the minimum setbacks for the principal building. So you have the house actually located over 80 feet from the western property line. And clearly, even from lot 5, although that's less of your concern since it butts a building lot, but we're talking about a house that does not, is way in excess of minimum setbacks. The house is a little bit over 7,000 square feet. It conforms in all respects with zoning setbacks. Now, I took particular care to read over your design criteria in section 255-760. I submit to you, if you look at the computer renderings, which I think is better than looking at the line drawings here, which you had up on your screen initially, which is the renderings, the actual renderings, you'll notice that we have gabled roofs here. And as noted in the guidelines, we have all cedar shakes, wood cedar shakes on the roof and wood cedar siding on the exterior. Moreover, the side that's facing the ag reserve, if you look at your renderings, I know that the public spaces are on the first floor. I believe that if you look at your floor plan, there's a great room that faces on the south side. But if you look, there is a second floor decking and pillars, so that any light that would be emanating from those public rooms in the evening is shielded, obviously, by that decking overlay. On the second floor, you have the bedrooms, and the side that faces both the west as well as the north are shielded by landscaping, as you will note by the submitted landscape plan that you have before you. I submit to you that the spacing between the negative and positive, that is the window structures as well as the siding, is has been balanced. There is no exterior lighting other than what's defined in the code as house lighting. That is for at the front entrances and for safety purposes. So all exterior lighting, there is no uplighting, excess lighting there. As I indicated to you, it's just the lighting that's, I believe, defined by the town as house lighting for the entrance and for safety purposes.
Let me just ask a question to the board. I'm seeing Mary Jane through this. I'm not seeing any of the smart board color renderings. Is anybody else seeing them as she was going along with her description? Yeah, so what if we could—
I saw you had them actually put up onto your screen.
Well,
somebody had it projected and then it went away.
Right, and you came on. So what we're going to do is have you come up to the—
Oh, there it is.
For this, yeah. Okay, great. So let's take a look from the front. Now, the one thing, Mary Jane, I just want to point out, and then I'm going to hand this over to Esperanza. This lot number 4, it abuts the agricultural land to the south, as well as across the street from the front facade. There's a piece of agricultural land, and also to the side where there's some empty space in between that and the corner lot.
Yes, if you look at the survey, what you have is you have the to the west, there is a small strip of ag reserve land, all right, and to the west of that is a building lot. I mean, you can't, they don't show this on the survey, but if you also look at the landscaping plan, the side that's on the west side is heavily screened, all right? So as far as the north side is concerned, there is a small strip. I don't think they match up. There is an small ag area, but there's also building lots there. I was actually
they are,
looking
but
at
they're
the zoning.
also agricultural properties. We have an agricultural map that is outlined that every piece of property, regardless of whether there's a residential home on it or not, is highlighted. That's agricultural land, and directly across the street from lot number 4, which I believe is A2 on our map, is agricultural land. So it would impact the way ARB approaches the approval of this, because it does face agricultural from the facade. A lot of times on just singular properties that aren't subdivisions, we only, really critique the areas or the elevations of the homes that will face the ag overlay. So if the front or the sides don't, we don't really, take that into too much consideration, except for the overall design of the home.
No, I understand that.
You can see
what
that
I'm
right
saying
on.
is that
You
you're
see right
showing
on the
here,
screen?
you show here that there is ag reserve. We front exactly on the south. We actually front on the ag reserve.
Right.
And what I was asking you to take into consideration is, because I know that there were some comments about lighting, that on this particular lot, if you look at the back where the public spaces are, yes, the public spaces are across the back, but there is an overhang which would,
No, and I understand that. I understand that. I just wanted to bring to your attention that when we were looking at this and reviewing your application, we discovered that the land across the street, the new road that you're making that goes down to 4, 5, 6, 7, that also faces agricultural land across the street. And I hear that you're saying—
which street are we talking about? Wainscott Hollow?
No, the street, not street, excuse
The
me.
shared driveway.
The entrance road that you're creating for these 4, 5 properties.
Yes.
That's agricultural land across the street.
This is, to be clear, the whole area is considered agricultural overlay.
Yeah, yes, I'm well aware of that. Yes.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, Esperanza.
All right, well, I just want to, I should, I suppose, since it is a new application, although Mary Jane just was very eloquent in describing it and giving us a setting, just to read what is in the application. The application is for a single-family residence, pool, and pool house. The residence is a 2-story residence, total square feet 7,400. The pool 1,000 square feet, and the pool house 198 square feet. So I think that gives.
What about the detached garage?
So this was a question to me because I've had a chance to review and re-review the plans and the renderings, and it would seem as if from the survey, the SASCA survey, as well as the elevations and plans that were submitted, that the garage is detached. However, in the renderings, it would seem like it is attached. So it would be nice to have a clarification on that point. Because I was looking at specifically, I believe it's sheet A2.0, which is, I think.
All right, I have our client here. Is she muted, Jeffrey Colleen Laura? I mean, I see her here. Will you unmute your thing so you can address that, please?
Derek, can you find that on the elevations? What number was it, Esperanza?
A2.0.
Hi, it's Laura. Hi.
Hi, Laura.
Hello.
Yeah, which plan should we have them look at?
They're referencing the garage, Laura.
Yeah, it's attached. Look, I think the first floor plan will indicate. First floor plan will indicate that.
Right. If you look at what we were looking at just.
Here it is. Correct.
Okay, could we look at A2.0 again, Derek, please? Just to point out whether I'm reading this incorrectly, it seems like an inconsistency here and also on the survey with the proposed buildings on the survey.
It might be that, Laura, I submit to you that there was an initial plan, and when you revised the plans, it may be that you did not have David Saskis actually pull this over and attach it to the building. And that needs to be corrected.
This is a different plan on the site plan versus the floor plan.
Yes.
I believe the
floor
architectural
plan
plans
should-
that were submitted to you actually match the renderings, but I believe that when if you look at the floor plan, these proposed first floor plans and the
floor
color
plan
renderings
doesn't
match.
The site plan.
But the site plan is still from the old application is what it looks like here.
Right. So just to be clear, what I look
You will
at.
have that corrected and submitted to you.
Okay, great. Because I won't necessarily, I mean, I will look at these, but what really matters to us are that A2.0, which gives you the general layout, and then the elevations. So Derek, would you pull up the
elevations and your color renderings do match.
Okay. And so another question is that we would need.
And also the landscape plan matches as well. If you notice, if you look at your landscape plan that was submitted to you, the garage is attached to the house. The two incorrect situations happen to be David's Saskis's survey, which was not corrected, but if you look at the Wayne Scott landscape plan, you'll notice that the garage is connected here.
I see that.
So I apologize for that, and that will be corrected on David Saskis's survey and sent to you, resubmitted.
And in the plans.
I believe the architectural plans do show it as attached.
Let's take a look. The reason why we're going through this, Mary Jane, because we can't approve anything unless we have all accurate plans.
I understand that. Absolutely. It's this site plan that's incorrect.
No, but that's what we want to take a look at the elevations.
But if you look at
I'm not concerned with the floor plans. I'm looking at the exterior elevations.
No, and just to be clear, Betsy, the site plan as Mary Jane just said, is incorrect. That needs to be corrected along with the survey. And
But if you look at the elevations in the
if I may
proposed first
finish,
floor
please,
plan,
just a moment. So then the elevations do appear to be correct. They were just
yes,
confusing to me because on the site plan and on the survey, it was detached.
I
The other thing
certainly
that
apologize for that.
The other thing that I did want to point out was that I believe it's on the site plan page again, or perhaps, yes. There is a floor plan of the cabana that you see here, but we do need an elevation, an elevation drawing of that as well.
All right, we'll submit that to you.
Okay.
Can I see the elevation of the garage from the eastern side?
There it is.
Okay.
Okay.
And then there's above it is the western side. So it's just those two lights on the top and the two larger lights on the bottom, right?
Yes, that's limited to those 4 lights.
Okay. Now, wait. I don't see, oh, that's the back. Never mind. Okay. All right. Never mind. Anything else, Esperanza?
Well, the other thing that I wanted to be sure we have clear and recorded is the materials study, which what was resubmitted with the new application seemed to have an inconsistency.
I believe that there was a digital board. I don't know if you saw the digital sample board. It was submitted with the cedar shake siding as well as the trim fascia, and it's an actual digital colored image board for you. It says digital sample board, lot 4.
Yes, I believe that Derek has that on the smart board.
I believe he has it. All I had was, I believe what?
It shows the roofing material as well.
All I had was this material
Yeah,
study.
I think that's what
Yes.
she's referencing.
That's what I'm referencing.
Okay, so I do have that. It does indicate there's vertical cedar siding, which I don't see anywhere on the renderings or in the elevations.
I think the digital board was done before we decided to redo all of it to just cedar shakes.
Okay.
So
So
This was compiled, this digital board was compiled for the previous submission. And basically, since that, there's an actual real owner for this house. We're not just building this on speculation. And the real owner that's going to be the ultimate end user said that she would prefer all cedar shakes. So we will submit a new digital board that totally eliminates this vertical siding. It's all going to be cedar shakes. Cedar shakes on the roof and cedar shakes on the sides.
Okay. I'd like to, if Esperanza, if you don't mind me jumping in for one thing, I want to go back before we move on to other design elements with regards to the plans versus the digital renderings. So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. If we could go, Derek, to the color renderings for the front facade of Lot 4 that we're talking about. Okay. Do you see that window above the exterior front door?
Are you talking about the window on top of the roofing? Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. If you go to the elevations, I believe it's different.
yes, it is. It has a transom above it.
So yes, there you go for the facade.
You mean there's the 2 panes versus, this is what we're talking about here.
A different shaped window. Shouldn't this stuff all be correct before we start reviewing it?
Well, we're pointing out the incorrections or things that aren't lining up so that they can come back to us with corrected plans.
I'll find out from the architect, NJ Kane, whether he's proposing the vertical, would I see the horizontal or the transom?
Right. So we'll call that the window above the front door that
Yes.
needs to be identified correctly.
Okay. Hi, this is Laura again. The front door is actually in between those 2 eaves on the top there. Gables, sorry.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again?
The front door is actually right above the word elevation,
Right?
Yes.
and there's no transom on the window above there.
No,
I know, but what they're saying is if there's two windows
window
here
above
on the proposed
the
elevation
second floor.
with the verticals, and the one in the color rendering is horizontal and squat. Laura,
Okay.
Derek can show us on the screen if possible. Right there, you'll
you
see
see
it.
there? You see this? This is horizontal and squat on top of the red door.
Okay.
I've marked it, Laura, so I will discuss it with the architect. And here there's two windows with a vertical cut through it.
Yes.
So
and
we'll find
also
out from the
too,
architect
because-
which is which. That's all.
Yeah, because also too, on the color rendering with the little squat window, the roofing underneath it seems to be at a greater pitch than on the elevation. It could just be the way the drawing is. All right, Esperanza, you have anything else on this?
No, I think that's all. I just wanted to make sure then the 7,400 square feet total is exclusive of the lower level, right? The basement.
Yes, that doesn't, yeah, that it's exclusive of the lower level.
And then I think you did mention already, there's the lighting is minimal and kept to code.
Only what, yeah, absolutely. We took to heart and looked at the provisions. So what we're talking about is what you see on the garage for exterior and the small lighting. That's it. We're not putting out any exterior lighting. We understand that also that it's discouraged, but in any event, the client herself did not want a lot of lighting.
Okay.
Esperanza, may I jump in, or if you have something else?
Yeah, go ahead, Betsy, because I think that's all I think I really had at the moment. I mean, I would, I guess, invite also the comments from the board, because we've seen different, the various applications, and now we know there is a client for this. So obviously there's an aesthetic that he or she is looking for. So
Right.
Go ahead.
So just as an overall, for anyone listening as well as the applicant, of course, to understand that, when we look at this, it's not only fenestrations and, light pollution onto the ag overlays and things like that. We're also looking to maintain, a harmonious character of the rural farmland of Wainscott, where this subdivision is going. And I understand that you now have a potential buyer for this, and it's possibly that's why some of the design elements have changed, because what originally came before us, I can only speak for myself, but my feelings were that the board felt that it was a very attractive looking home. There were, 2/2 divided like windows. It felt more in keeping with, sort of a rural farmland element. It had some standing seam raised roofing as opposed to all cedar shingles. And my concern is that it went from having, a somewhat rural harmonious character to having more modern casement type windows, and we lost the element of the metal roofing to a shingle roofing, and that the front door doesn't have any divided lights except for, the sides. But I think I feel that we lost some of that rural character that I was, pleased with to see from the original. So does anybody on the board want to comment before we ask Mary Jane to tell us why they made this change?
Yeah, Chip here. This house has nothing to do with the traditional architecture of Wainscott, and I find this patio in the back around the pool looks like something you'd find in LA. And the trees are not accurate. The house is surrounded by trees. There are no trees on this. It's a field. So I'm a little bit upset that there's mistakes in the submissions. Stuff is not consistent. and that we have to find their mistakes. They should be proofing their own work before they submit it to us, so it's clean and it's consistent, not we have to go looking for mistakes that we have to then discuss with them.
Thank you, Chip. Peter, do you want to speak to anything with regards to the fenestrations and the window look, the new sort of casement windows versus what was originally submitted?
Well, we obviously prefer what was originally submitted, which was much more in character, in keeping with the character of the traditional homes in the Wainscott area. I mean, this is a suburban house which could be anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused because it was my understanding, and I did watch the video, that you had some serious reservations about the house that was originally submitted.
Not the design of the house. What we had concern about was the amount of windows and the amount of light emitting from them. So what you've done is you've replaced the divided light style of window for a more open casement window, even though some of that fenestration has shrunk, which I appreciate. I feel that we're losing that sort of, traditional character. And one of the things that I would like to possibly ask you to consider, if possible, because I didn't know that this was something that, that was going to be designed towards a buyer, that there's, I just feel like we lost sort of like a front porch type of feeling, where the original one that was submitted had an overhang over the front door, and now it doesn't. And in looking at it, I just feel that the way the windows now present themselves, and because there's these sort of boxed areas of the house on the front facade, that it almost has a feeling of like a condo unit. It's just very modern, and it doesn't have that sort of, when we were looking at, the fact that you were keeping the old farmhouse and relocating it, we really liked that. And my hope was that some of the elements of those types of old farmhouses, of course, you can't really do that on a 9,000 square foot house, but, that there would be an overhang over the front door, that there would be some more inviting elements to it that would register to the area.
Well, actually, the reason that you have the style before you now is because of the reaction that you had about, you said there was too much glazing, too much window compared to siding.
Yes,
so
it wasn't about
basically the end user said, well, I want less windows anyway, because I don't want to be living in the public. Mm-hmm. Moreover, the north side that you're looking at, I submit to you, frankly, even though it is in the agricultural overlay district, you're going to have extensive screening on that side, because it abuts, the property owner. The field side of it, which is the south side, is going to be open and visible. But frankly, on this side, that is the north side, nobody's going to be seeing it, nor is hardly is it going to be visible except from a distance, even on the west side, because as I indicated to you, although it abuts the ag reserve, I mean, there is going to be screening on that side as well. I will go back to the owner, to the end user on this. I mean, we are more limited here, but obviously these changes of reducing the windows were done directly in relation to, we thought, to your comments.
Right, and I appreciate the reduction in the openings, but what I don't feel has helped the design is taking away the more traditional divided light, 2/2 or 4/1 or whatever it is that that you can come up with that would make it look more traditional. They've become from vertical traditional windows, double hung, to very horizontal casement windows. And I appreciate the
I understand your comments, and I respect the board, but I submit to you that in your design review criteria, I mean, the board is asked to provide some flexibility, and that individual initiative and experimentation aren't to be discouraged. I mean, that identical saying that we only want this particular design, I mean, that is actually, you are given options here where you're allowed to look at designs that come forth with you before you that aren't exactly per se traditional. So I do ask the board to please keep that in mind. I will certainly go back to both 55 Wainscott Hollow, the landowner, as well as the ultimate end user that wants this house, and discuss your comments with them to see if we can come to a reasonable
It was said to you, Mary Jane, to ask for a consideration. That was
absolutely. We'll definitely go back. And now that we know that it wasn't so much the overall design, which is the response that was actually gotten initially, we misinterpreted that. I mean, the impression that I got from the first meeting's video was that you really tested what was presented to you. So
I just feel
that was a misunderstanding.
I just feel that the new types of windows that you put in change the character of the home. Even though the home itself is the same, I feel like it's lost its character. Does anybody else want to make any aesthetic comments or design comments?
No, I think we need to review this where all of the components are accurate, both the site plan, the elevations. I noticed that there are fireplaces shown on the plan, but the roof plan doesn't show it. Some of the elevations show chimneys, some of the elevations do not. I think,
Mr. Gumpel, I absolutely, in fact, I apologize. I had submitted to the applicant because I have very little, I'm very bad at looking at design in the sense of 3D. So I had asked the applicant to please proof their work. I submit my apologies to you. It should not have been submitted with those errors, and I will certainly have the applicant and their architectural team look at it again, and we will submit revised corrections to you.
Mary Jane, sorry, Laura again. The chimneys are not the design. The fireplaces are gas.
well, I'm looking at A5.0, and they're showing chimneys.
Can we see that, Derek?
No, look at section A, drop it down a bit. Are those chimneys that I'm seeing?
Okay, yes, sir, thank you.
Well, are there chimneys or are there not? I mean, we're supposed to be reviewing this, and I find so many inconsistencies that I don't know what we're reviewing or attempting to approve.
Okay. Peter, thank you for that. So I think that Laura and Mary Jane have a clear idea of how important it is that when they present to us the next time, that everything is as accurate as humanly possible, because it is what we would be approving. And once that approval that goes into the record, and we come back before you get the C of O and match everything in the plans that were approved to what was built. And if does not match up, then, we're in this another phase of, well, we need new plans. We'd be better off doing this from the start.
We
so
understand.
If no one else has anything else to comment on, I want to move forward to one more phase of this application. Esperanza, Diane, Chip, anyone?
No more comments.
No more comments.
Okay.
So if you would adjourn to the next meeting, we will.
No, we have one more. We have one more thing.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So it's very important that we acknowledge that we've received 5 letters from residents of the community, and it's part of our duty to read them into the record. So we're going to do that now, and then we'll adjourn, you to the next time that you want to come before us with more complete plans. All right, Esperanza.
Okay, thank you, Betsy. As Betsy has indicated, we did receive just prior to our last meeting, so these are dated October 20th, 21st. Actually, yeah, just prior to our second, right? Is that correct, Eric?
Yep.
Okay. I'll read the first one into the record, which was the first letter received. Dear Chairman Petrosky and members of the East Hampton Town Architectural Review Board, as a resident of Wainscott, I'm writing in regard to the plans for 55 Wainscott Hollow Road, lots 4 and 7. Please bear in mind that this was when you had both of those lots before us, and we understand now that this is just lot 4. As conceived at present, it seems these residences will have a not insignificant impact on the surrounding community. They are sited along a common driveway, 2 of eventually 5 in a row, extending across the northwestern border of the 40-acre subdivision. They have clear views across the agricultural reserve. They are large in scale and surely will be visible to who's looking north from Wainscott Hollow Road. The cumulative impacts of all 5 properties, once they are developed, will be all the greater. The board's discussion with the applicant at its September 24, 2020 meeting and its request for color rendering and revised plans was encouraging. I support the board in taking all steps available to minimize the presence of the structures, their visibility, and the light they would spill onto the 28-acre reserve and modest neighboring residences. Surely this will help in preserving the integrity of Wainscott's heritage, one that many appreciate and enjoy. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, Carolyn Logan Gluck. The second letter, dated Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. Dear ARB, I am a Wainscott resident year-round, and I am deeply troubled by the sheer size of the new houses proposed for 55 Wainscott Hollow. Wainscott is a hamlet, a small corner of East Hampton town. The character of Wainscott is essentially and mostly modest as well as pastoral, but adding these huge houses of 8,000 square feet or more is beyond the pale and will change forever the character of our hamlet. I urge caution. Thank you, Michael Hansen. October 21st, 2020. Dear Chairman Petrosky and members of the East Hampton Town Architectural Review Board, the plans for 55 Wainscott Hollow Road, lots 4 and 7, appear on your meeting agenda for October 22nd, 2020. Of considerable concern to us is the scope of the construction plans for this property and the potentially negative impact it will have on neighboring properties if allowed as presented at the ARB meeting on September 24, 2020. Thank you for requesting revisions and additional detailed plans, and we hope to see the entire project scaled down in size and style, harmonious and appropriate for Wainscott. Sincerely, Pamela I. Mahoney. Wednesday, October 21st. Dear Chairman Petrosky and members of the East Hampton Town Architectural Review Board, as a resident of Wainscott Hollow Road, Wainscott, I'm writing in regard to the plans for 55 Wainscott Hollow Road, lots 4 and 7. Looking up Wainscott Hollow Road from the old Gilbert Chancey Osborne General Store and Post Office, or Wainscott School, we currently have a view that crooks to the left, northwest, 1/2 mile north. Looking straight, the view at the crook is farmland and George and Jackie's Shepenskowski's yard. If the proposed new structures go up, that view will be replaced by mansions with imposing out-of-character designs. When you visit the disputed area, keep in mind the crook is at the old potato barn north, not the potato barn north of 90 Wainscott Hollow Road. On Sunday, my wife and I spent the afternoon hiking on and around the fields that may soon be lost to new construction. When standing in the middle of a farm field, the thought of its loss and its views is sad indeed. As always, Dennis Osborne Hedges DeAndrea. And Judge DeAndrea actually sent another email the following day. As a resident of Wainscott, I'm writing in regard to the plans for 55 Wainscott Hollow, lots 4 and 7. I in no way underestimate the difficult task of the Architectural Review Board to guide builders and developers to a design and size that is fitting for the community, even when the community is largely corn and potatoes. However, as attachments, I am including photographs of what is being surrendered in and near 55 Wainscott Hollow Road, and he sent photographs of the potato cornfields, potato fields, as well as the excavation for the farmhouse that's going to be placed there. You know, I think that this clearly says how we need to really look at all of this and think of the best interests of the community as much as the individuals.
Right. And basically, and Mary Jane and Laura, you know that we know that the size of the homes, it is not under our purview, but the design elements and the fenestrations that face the agricultural overlays do. So that's why we're guiding.
I'm well aware that this subdivision, I've been working on this property for nearly 10 years. It's gone through many, we had a site plan for one house, and it was just approved.
Mary Jane, I understand.
Okay.
We
So-
going back to the history.
So what I'm saying is the character of the neighborhood being lost. I mean, it was an open space subdivision. It's a cluster subdivision. There was quite a bit of land preserved here. So
No, we understand that. We understand that. All we were doing is we were doing our duty as a board for the town of East Hampton to read into the record the letters that were sent to us. That is, you know, something that we do. So based on the comments that the board made, we're going to table this application, and we look forward to seeing you back. Okay?
all right. Thank you very much.
Great.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm going to move on to business signs.
Okay.
Okay, I've got Amagansett Dermatology, tax map number 300-172-2-11.3, 524 Montauk Highway in Amagansett. And Michael, I'm looking for someone possibly on the line from Hampton Signs.
There are currently 3 callers on the line. I don't see that name, but I can unmute the first one and see.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who that would be. Ocean Graphics is in Hampton Signs, is it?
Well, I'll
No,
unmute the
Ocean
caller.
Graphics.
They can acknowledge themselves, and we can go through the 3 that are on hold.
Great.
Here comes the first one. Unmuting now. Hello, caller. You're live with the East Hampton Architectural Review Board. Hello, caller. Are you there? Hearing nothing, Chair, I could move to the next caller.
Okay.
I'm unmuting the next caller now. Hello, caller. You're live with the ARB.
I'm for the East Hampton House project.
Okay, hang in there with us. We have a few signs to go through.
Sure.
Okay. I will move on to the next caller. Unmuting now. Hello, caller.
Okay, let's move forward. If they call in, you'll let us know, Michael. Okay?
Chair, you must know, though, that I actually have no way of knowing who they are, as the caller ID is not 100% accurate. So if
I know,
have
but
numbers,
if somebody does call in, you can check. We don't mind you interrupting,
I
okay?
do still have 2 callers on hold that I haven't opened up to see if they pertain to this.
All right, let's go. I thought you said you had 3.
Nope,
Okay.
I understand. They're actually coming in quickly right now. Here's another one.
Okay, maybe that's them.
Hi, it's Denise from Hampton Signs.
Great. Denise, hi. Hi, Betsy here. How are you today?
Good, good.
Good. Good.
I am,
So this,
I submitted for Hampton
Go ahead.
Realty and Amagansett Dermatology.
yes, we're going to start with Amagansett Dermatology, okay? So I just want to read into
Sure.
the record for the board as well as the viewers what this is. This is a sign that's going to go up in the Harold McMahon complex on the south side of Montauk Highway in Amagansett, just a little bit past the IGA area. And it is for a new sign that would be a single sign, 89.5 by 31.79 inches, and that would total 19.75 square feet, which is under the 20 square feet maximum for a sign. So I thought when I saw this photograph that this was, well, actually this is a photograph I took, but the one you submitted, that this was a rendering, like a computer rendering, but well, lo and behold, the sign's already up. So this is an existing
So
sign.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is an existing
That was
sign.
a rendering, yes. Mhm.
No, but this photograph that's up on our board right now is the picture that I took on Wednesday. That sign is up.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
And it appears to me that, it's fairly consistent with the other one, but it seems like it's a little bit bigger. And I'm not going to make a big deal about, that because you come under the 20 square feet. But my question is, because it's going to relate to the next one that we're going through for the same complex, is there like a general sign criteria for the complex, or is every renter or leaser able to put whatever type of signs and how big they want up?
Are you asking me or?
Yes,
the
I'm
board?
asking you. Yeah. Do you know if there's like a sign
No,
criteria
I do
for
not,
the
I do
complex?
not know. I do not know,
No.
because I know that Harold McMahon next door is different also. So
Mhm.
in the, in the other suite section. So
Right.
I do not know that answer.
Okay. All right. Well, I tried to just measure this, but it could also be, just an illusion, but it appears to be a little bit bigger. And if it wasn't already there, it's not that much where I'm gonna, unless the board has something to say, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But if it was to be built, I would have asked to make sure that they matched the same scale as the Mannix Custom Builder so that it would be, more balanced and in keeping. But I don't have a problem with this. Does anybody on the board have any comments regarding this new sign that's up?
I think it's clear, easy to read from the 27, and when you're there, all those buildings look the same, so it's very helpful to have the sign.
Right, and it's very, the colors are fine. So I'm going to make a motion to approve this sign. Can I get a second, Chip?
Second.
All in favor? Esperanza?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
And Peter?
I just have a question. Will there be any other sign at the door? I mean, this sign on the building is fine, but it seems to me that once you drive in there, there needs to be additional signage to identify where the entrance is.
They don't do that there. There's a directory out front, which is, tells the which side of which suite to go to. And then when you get around back into the parking lot, there's an interior directory that tells people that they're in the right building.
Yeah, it's a bit of a labyrinth there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, well, that answers the question. All right, thank you.
I'll agree.
Okay, thanks, Peter. So that's approved. And I'm going to move on to the next sign, which is the Hampton Realty Group tax map number 300-172-2-19.6532 Montauk Highway, which is in the same complex, but a different building. And this is not there. And this is semi-imposed. And here I think we have an opportunity because, Derek, this is the one where I sent to you late this afternoon to show the building without the sign. There you go. So it's not there. So let's go back to the submit. This is similar. It's a single-sided sign. It's a little bit smaller. It's 18.66 square feet. And what I was going to ask Denise is,
Yes.
can we match the size of the landmarks signage, number one, and also match the positioning on the building and have it more centered underneath and above the windows instead of it sort of hanging off to the sign? It sort of just looks, off to me, position-wise.
I believe that since it was submitted, Harold had requested that it be centered underneath the window, as you're saying.
Mhm.
The overall height, I believe it's the same length as landmarks, but not the same depth. So I could cut down the depth to match landmarks.
Yeah, let's do
But
that.
it's definitely going to be centered over the window.
Yeah, it's so important, I think, for these buildings, even though they have all different signs and everybody's going to have their own logo and colors, that at least we can have the positioning, somewhat tightened up.
Consistent.
Yeah, consistent. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So
Right.
So I'm going to approve this, but if you could let us know what that actual sign, the change of the size of the sign's going to be, so we can mark that in the resolution and give that to Derek, we'll go with that. So we'll think it's
I'll send Derek an email. Yeah.
Yeah, just with the,
I'll send
again,
Derek
with
an
the,
email with that.
right, with the size, the inches by inches and then the actual square footage. That's excellent. All right. So I'm going to make a motion to approve this sign as presented with the size correction to match the landmark sign. And do I get a second on that, Peter?
Second.
All in favor, Diane?
Aye.
And Esperanza?
Aye.
And Chip?
Aye.
And Betsy, great. Okay, thank you very much, Denise. I look forward to you getting that.
Thank you.
There. Okay,
Okay, appreciate your help. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
you're welcome. Sunshine, tax map number 300-171-2-16, 303 Main Street in Amagansett, and that would be Esperanza.
Yes, this is an application for a single-sided sign. It's actually I believe a window decal. So lettering on the window, total square feet, 12.92 or 44.3 inches by 42 inches. It is a bright gold yellow. And I'm sure you're most familiar with this little building. I think there's a picture of it from farther away, no?
Yeah, there should be. What's the total square feet? It's like under 13, right?
Yes, it's 12.92, just under 13. I mean, I really don't have any issue with it. And I don't know what all of you think about the color.
No, I think it's fine.
Sunshine.
It's set back from the road enough where it's not like right on the, right in your face if you're walking.
And it's a location that really needs something to draw your eye to it.
Yeah,
So
right.
I think,
Are there other pictures of the buildings, Derek, or is that the only one you have on the smart board?
I thought there were, but you know what? I guess I didn't actually take it because I'm
No, it's all right.
site.
I saw it.
No, there is. There's one.
There is one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and make a motion. We've got, 25 applications after this.
It's fine. So I make a motion to approve this application as submitted.
Great. Can I get a second on that, Diane?
Yes, second.
All in favor, Chip?
Yes.
Peter?
Aye.
And Betsy, aye. Okay, change to commercial. East Hampton House, tax map number 300-188-2-4, 226 Panago Road, East Hampton, and that's Chip. And Michael, there was someone on for East Hampton House.
Yes, I'll unmute that caller right now.
Hi, this is Larry Rubinson, R&W Engineers.
Hey, Larry, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Can you just spell your name for the record, please?
RUBINSON. SON.
Great, thank you. All right, Chip, can you read to us what this is about?
Sure. So this is a large 4-building motel complex on 4.5 acres with extensive lawns, 2 tennis courts, walkways, patios, a swimming pool, and sophisticated landscaping. The applicant seeks to demolish and build a new 1,304 square foot swimming pool with 4,038 feet of decking, a barbecue area, and a service building for the pool equipment. The lot coverage before and after remains at 17,126 feet. As everything is at ground level, other than a fence, I'm not sure what we're asked to approve here.
I think it's just the fence, because ground level is not under our purview, the pool or the paving stones. Or this landscaping, as a matter of fact. So tell us about the fencing.
The fencing is going to, there's probably
Go ahead.
other people on the, representing the applicant.
Chair, if I may, I do believe I see Land Planning Services on the phone line.
Okay, great,
Yes,
thank you.
I'll unmute that right now.
All right, Chip, in the meantime, do you have what Derek submitted this afternoon with the
No.
fencing? Can you check your phone and
Yeah.
pull that up, or Derek can pull that up? Look, Derek will pull it up. Those are the pavings that we're not going to comment on, and this is all proposed. This is not.
Okay, so this is Lori Wiltshire. Hi.
Hi, Lori.
Can you hear me? Hey,
Yep.
hi. So yeah, the fencing is just going to be the on-guard fence system. The style's called long spur. It's a standard picket. It's black, 54 inches in height, and the gates are 4 feet wide. And that's pretty much it. There's a picture of it that was submitted to your office today. That's not it. Derek, can you
That's
there
what
you
I
go.
have.
There's your fence. There's
Right.
your fence.
So it's 4.5 feet tall, basically.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. So Chip, that's the only thing that we need to move on this. So if
It's
you
fine.
want a
It's a
motion.
traditional fence, and it probably needs to be that height to keep kids out of it, so
Yeah,
I
the
have no
minimum, the
problem with it.
minimum is 4 feet, so 4.5 is nothing, but they need our approval over 4 feet.
Right. So, you want me to make a motion?
Yes, please.
I make a motion that we approve the black wrought iron fence as submitted at 4.5 feet high.
Can I get a second on that, Peter?
Second,
Sorry,
All
can I
in
just
favor, Diane?
Aye.
And Esperanza?
Aye.
And Betsy, aye. Okay, Lori.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just clarification on that.
Sorry?
I just wanted to make a clarification that it's not wrought iron.
Was it aluminum?
It is.
Okay.
Okay.
Even better.
Aluminum's fine, yeah.
Right. So we'll make a note that for the motion that it's a 4.5 foot aluminum black gate. Fencing and
Thank
gate.
you.
Great, thanks.
That's what it is.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, fences, walls, and burn. Marcy Waterman, tax map number 300-155-1-3124, Merchants Path in Wayne-Scott. And that would be Chip, and it's possible we have somebody on the line, maybe Marcy Waterman or someone from East End Planning. Michael?
I will unmute the next caller in queue
Oh,
right now.
Katie or Chess?
Hi, Betsy. It's Katie.
Hey, Katie, how are you tonight? All right,
I'm
Chip,
good.
you
How are
want to
you?
read? Good. We want to read into the record and
Sure.
what
So
we're doing?
we've been working on this for a while, and the applicant now proposes to cut the driveway gate and post to a maximum of 4 feet 6 inches, removing the top section of the gate, which is the lattice section. And so what will remain is the bottom enclosed section. And then they also propose to remove all of the 8-foot deer fencing that is in front of the house on their property and also on the neighbor's property. So you will just have a gate, the 2 pairs of the pair of gates with posts, and none of that's going to be over 4 feet 6 inches.
Right. My note was that the gate actually would be 4.2 and the post will be 4.6. Can we take a look at that drawing that Katie marked up Derek? Not drawing, the photograph. Yeah, there you go. Great. Excellent. Thank you, Katie.
Oh, that's great.
All right, Chip. Anybody have any comments?
Well, the only thing, Chip and Betsy, is there's also the deer fencing in the back, which I know you guys didn't have a problem with at the last meeting. But so in the rear there is deer fencing, and that does.
Well, the fencing, we had the problem with, Katie, is the fencing on the right side of the property, which I was told by the owner is not her fencing. That fencing has got all sorts of problems. It's 8, 9, 10 feet tall in places, but she said that's her neighbor's fencing, so I have admitted that. As long as the rest of the fencing in the back is 8 feet, that's fine.
Well, let me ask you this. First of all, Derek, can we see a survey? Chip, have you been able to go in there to look at the 8-foot fencing in the back?
Many times.
Okay, so it is 8 feet.
Yeah, everything that is her fencing that is on her property is 8 feet. And yes, the neighbor's fence is higher, but that's the neighbor.
Right, let's just take
Katie, is this the revised survey?
Yeah, so you'll see the fencing in the front goes out of her property onto the neighbor's property, but anything in front of the house will be removed. And then in the back, I guess it's purple or blue, that fencing is 8 feet or less. And then on the upper side, that fencing all along above the pool is all the neighbor's fencing, and that's all sorts of stuff going on there. Stockade, deer fencing, on top of each other, under each other, but that's not our concern for her.
Well, then, since we can't reference that we're approving the 8 feet in the back because only 2 sides we're approving, when you make the motion, can you say the back side and the south side 8 foot?
Yes.
Okay, let's go forward.
So I make a motion that we approve the gates and posts to be cut down, and neither will be higher than 4 feet 6 inches. The gates to be 4 feet 2 inches. And on the back side and the south side of the property, the deer fencing not to exceed 8 feet in total.
Right, so the back is the west and the side is the south. Okay,
yes.
Excellent. All right, can I get a second on that, Diane?
Good.
All in favor, Esperanza?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
And Betsy, aye. Great. All right, Katie, you want to hang in there? Oh, you're next with Shorewood, right? Next, okay. William Mulligan, tax map number 300-92-7-2, 12 Shorewood Drive in East Hampton. And this is a similar situation that we asked Katie's applicant to reduce the gate by cutting off the top portion so that it would be more in keeping with a friendly gate in the neighborhood. And Derek, if we could take a look at the newest Marks survey where they're reducing the gate to 4 and 3 inches, and it has with the caps and the post to 4.8. Can we go back to the gate that's marked up, Derek, please? My only question when I went out there and I saw the drawings, number one, I was elated. Thank you. You did an excellent job with both these properties for us. Is why 5 inches difference? Like, you know, with the caps are probably 2 or so or 3. You know, can we go to 4 inches above the gate instead of 5? I know I'm splitting hairs and I shouldn't be, you know, asking for more, but I just think 5 inches is going to look a little bit higher. Anybody have any comments?
There was a little bit of decoration below the cap, and just so he could keep that, the idea was to give it just another 2 inches below.
All right.
Then there's
okay. That's all right. I'm not going to push my luck here. Okay. So I think that looks great. And what they're doing is now, Derek, if you can go back to the survey, they have 6-foot deer fencing around the property, and they're going to reduce the front to 4. and they're asking to keep the 6 along the side. And I have some pictures that I submitted that I want to show you what's going on with this property really quick, get the board's input. So this is on the side to the left of the gate. The front that you're seeing where the electrical box is to the right of that, that's the front. That's going to be cut down to 4. Then they have this 6-foot wooden post with metal deer fencing. And you see that looks like a walkway. It actually is. It's an area that's between their property and their next door neighbor property. And it's almost like a pass through for wildlife, which is really great. Unfortunately, the neighbor's fence is higher than 6 feet. So I don't really, and because it's so heavily landscaped, I don't really have a problem with this staying at 6. So Derek, if you can go to then the right side. Okay, so then this is the right side of the gate. The fencing that you're looking at up until that corner post is going to be cut down to 4. And then they want to go to the next picture along that other side, keep that 6 foot. My only question would be, and again, I'm asking, if you go to the photograph again of the gate, the survey, because this is more visible from the road, this corner area. You see how down on the corner, right above the drive, where it says Shorewood Drive on the road, that little area that they're cutting down to the right side of the gate to 4 feet, where that corner is. I'm almost asking if they could cut a couple sections down to 4 feet that would be in line with the 4 feet fence on the opposite side, just to sort of tighten up that corner of the property so it doesn't look so, 6 feet right on the roadway, because it is pretty close to the easement. Does that make sense, Katie, what I'm asking you to do?
So the 6-foot side fence on the east side, correct? Like cutting it back roughly 10 feet. So you would start the 6 feet, 10 feet in from where it is right now?
Yeah, so that it's in line with the 4-foot fence on the other side, right?
I don't see a problem with that. That's fine.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it parallel, cut it back to parallel to the opposite side of the gate, 4-foot fencing, okay? I think that would be great. And then in the back, they're asking for their 8-foot deer fencing. So here's the problem, Katie. I have not been able to get into that property. I can't walk all the way in the back there to see, what's going on. It's so wooded. So if anyone on the board, since we're reducing the front to 4, we're going to tighten up that one corner. We're dropping the gate down to below, 4.8, 4.3. And if we approve the 8 feet in the back, if everybody's okay with that, I'm going to, in good faith, say that that's approved. But when it comes time for me to go out there to do the site inspection, I've got to be able to get out there and be able to measure that back is 8 feet. And so you might have to meet me there or have somebody there at the property to let me in. Because I don't want to approve something that I can't see. You know what I'm saying? So unless I get back there and it's not 8 feet, then we've got a problem.
I understand.
And do you know what type of fencing it is back there? Is it the same as what's in the front?
Yeah, it's traditional deer fence with black posts.
With black posts, not the wooden posts.
Nope, just the black post. And then there's the 4-foot pool guard because there's a pool back there on the lower level.
Right, okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments on what I'm pushing for here?
No, I agree with what you're saying, but I'm realizing that this property is virtually 100% enclosed.
Well, no, not really, because of the 4-foot fencing in the front and the 4-foot gate, it's really not. And it's very wooded. Then, there's 6 feet on the sides. The fencing is tucked behind, evergreens, pine trees.
Why do we even need the 6-foot fencing at all? And the 4 feet in the front? I can understand the gate and I can understand the 8-foot section in the back.
Hey.
Well, the 4 foot is up to them, Peter.
Yeah,
We have
I
no
understand
jurisdiction of
that.
the 4 foot, right? You know, it, like I said, it's quite wooded. They have, you know, a lot of plantings in the front. It's, you know, there's,
Okay,
I mean, I mean, you can barely see the 6-foot fence that is there on the side.
you want to take a look at the photographs again?
no, I'm okay.
Does anybody else agree with Peter? Because we could go back to this.
No, I was going to make the same observation, but I do note the 4 feet, so it's okay.
I agree.
You
I
agree?
agree.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to make a motion to approve this as presented today, where the gate is dropped to 4.3 with 4.8 inches posts. The front fencing is lowered to 4 feet. In addition to the, is that the east side corner? To be cut to 4 feet parallel with the 4-foot fencing on the opposite side of the gate, 6 foot to the back plane of the house, and 8 foot along the back. Can I get a second on that, Diane?
Second.
All in favor? Chip?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Esperanza?
Aye.
Okay, all right, great. Katie, thank you again on these gates. Do you have anybody else on the agenda?
That's it for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, all right, so you'll just make sure that I can get back there for those 8-foot fences when we go for inspection, okay?
Yep, I'll either give you the gate code or my number and we can figure it out.
All right, good. All right, thanks very much. All right, next is Randy Feldman, tax map number 300-151-1-7.24, 69 Scrimshaw Lane in Amagansett. And Michael, I believe Randy should be on the line for us.
I believe so. I'll unmute that caller right now. Hello, caller. You're live with the ARB.
Hello.
Hello, caller. You're live. Her phone line is open. If you want, in case you stepped away, I can leave it open.
Yes, please leave it open and we'll go for it. All right, Diane, if you can read into the record and bring us up to date.
Yes. This application has been before us many times, and we have accepted several modifications to the original resolution. Based on the applicant's persistence and her compliance, she has cut down the fencing, and she has impressed us with her need to maintain this expensive gate as built. So now it has come down to a matter of color, and I'd like to note that because of these gray tones. Now, this is a picture I took 2 days ago, I think, where the gate looks much lighter than it looks in some other pictures. And I think everybody was given the stain color choices. I think that I heard that everybody had a copy of this. Okay, so the current color is the dark color. And of course, the picture that you just saw is that gate under certain light. So under certain conditions, it looks differently. There's a middle option 2 that Randy has proposed that more or less would make it look like it looks in that photograph. Randy, how do you feel about changing the color of the gate? Are you there?
Chair, her line is still open.
All right, let's if she comes back on, interrupt us, but we've got to move on. We can't wait, okay? But we'll take her when she comes. If we're in the middle of another application, we'll take her when she comes back in after we finish that application. I'm going to move on to Jeremy Taylor, tax map number 300-54-3-8, 25 Terry's Trail, East Hampton. Peter, please.
This is an application for a driveway gate. Which is 5 foot high, with the posts on either side being 4 inches above that, so the posts are 5'4". It does say on the mark survey that it would be 20 feet from the road, which I can't quite understand how that is achievable, considering the loop driveway. I measured it and it seems to me to be, let me check my notes here. At best 12 foot back, but it is a dead end. Terry's Trail is a loop at that point, and there's only 2 other houses, right? One before this and one after. Certainly if the fire marshal is willing to accept it in this location, I am as well.
Well, is there, I don't see where it's marked. Where is it? Oh, I see, right? It's gonna, I see what you're saying. It's
It
marked
says
right
date
on the edge.
road,
Right.
right? But I'm not sure that that's actually achievable without it being pushed back and requiring 2 gates unless they modify the circle.
Is there anybody on the line, Michael, for,
Yes,
for
there are
Jeremy?
there are 2 callers on the line, and I do not know who they pertain to, but I can open up the
Okay.
first one now.
We're looking for Jeremy Taylor.
Just a moment, please.
Okay.
Unmuting
So
now.
Peter, from edge of pavement to where they marked it is not 20 feet?
No, it's not.
It looks like it's right on the edge of the,
Between 12 and 14.
No, but do you
again, because of safety considerations, right, we like, 18, 20 feet off the roadway.
Right, no, understood. I'm just looking at the survey where it says edge of pavement, and then where those numbers are, it says RL.
right, is it 20 feet from that?
That's what I'm looking at, yeah.
So from where they're saying, where Esperanza is saying.
I measured it and I only get 12.
Okay. And so that would be the easement you're measuring, correct? The right of way, rather. Okay.
You're gonna get in trouble.
But I'm not sure it's that serious a problem, as I said, because Terry's Trail is a dead end there, and there's only, I think, 1 other house beyond it.
Mhm.
And because it's a loop and there, it's not obstructing any traffic.
And that is a public road, correct?
Yes.
It is a public road.
Mhm. Michael?
Yes, I've unmuted caller with the last 4 digits of 8311. Could you identify yourself, please?
Oh, this might be Ramon.
Hello, caller, are you there? I do have, hearing nothing, Chair, I can move on. There's 1 other caller, could be them.
Also, there's no indication as to whether this is a manual or an electric gate. And you notice, if you go back to the site plan, right, because the gate is right on the property line, I'm not sure where the keypad could be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if nobody calls in, we're going to table this.
Yeah.
I've unmuted 1 other caller with the last 4 digits of 4517. Caller, are you there? Chair, just to say, I believe a lot of people call in early and kind of listen, waiting for their upcoming application, which could be these 2 callers, so I'll mute them both.
Okay, so we're gonna table Jeremy with Taylor, which is Ramon Martinez, who we've worked with a lot before. And if Ramon shows up, we'll take him in sequence, okay? But right now, I'm going to table this. In agreement, Peter?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, Anthony Amarato, tax map number 300-95-5-7, 16 Cedar Ridge Drive in East Hampton. Peter.
This is an application for a driveway gate. I will read out what he says here. For safety, privacy, and beautification, neighbor feeds deer and other wildlife that have become a hazard. We designed a fence so that front woods are accessible and deer and other wildlife pass through. This exists already. I have serious objection because along this street, there are no gates. This is 6'6" high. The survey indicates that the fencing in the front is over the property line, and the fencing is over. All right. On the south side, there should be another survey, another drawing.
How high is the fencing, Peter?
Let's see.
Is it 6 feet or more?
The gate is, I'm sorry, 6'4". The posts are 7 feet, and the fence posts on either side are 8 foot. It's a solid gate. All right. I object to the gate. All right, particularly in this location.
Okay, let me just clarify. You're saying the gate, the wooden solid gate, which number one has a code violation, is 6'4" with 7 foot posts, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and the deer fencing that they said is 6 feet, you're saying that there's 8 foot posts for the fencing?
Correct.
Okay, so we're going to table this. Okay, and if they call in, we'll see what we can do. James Calderon and Curtis Eves, tax map number 300-151-7.16, 62 Scrimshaw Lane in Amagansett. Diane, and is there anybody on the call for this, James or Curtis Eves?
There are callers on hold, but none of their caller IDs give me those names. I would have to simply ask who they are. I can do that now.
Okay, thank you.
I'm unmuting the
Because
next caller
James
right
said
now.
he would be on.
Okay.
Yes, he's on. Yes, I'm here.
Hello. Is this James
I'm
Calderon?
on. Can you hear me?
Is this James Calderon?
Thank you.
Yes, okay. All right,
Yes,
Diane?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Yes, this is an application to close out their fence permit. Now, the client has very helpfully put a legend on the survey that relates to these photographs. So there are 3 different kinds.
Excuse me, if I may, I'm sorry, everybody. There's a technical issue. Excuse me, caller. Could you please mute the television or computer in your background, please?
Okay. All
James
right.
Calderon,
Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Continue, Diane.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the client, the applicant has been very helpfully provided a legend to place these fences on the survey. Now, these white PVC fences that we see are 6 feet. They are all clearly behind the facade of the house. Because of the grade changes, there are a few places where the posts exceed 6 feet by an inch or two, but I think it's negligible. this, okay, that was photo 1. Photo 2, this wire fence has some white roses still in bloom on it, and it's very nice, but it has some very tall poles that Mr. Calderon has agreed to cut down. And so to be in line with the fence height. And the 90-inch fence is buried in such a forest of vegetation and trees that I could neither get to it nor see it. But Mr. Calderon seems to vouch for the fact that it is 8 feet and it can't be seen. And since the property is less than 50% enclosed, and it's very wild, and there is a bridle path right there on its left, I think that I didn't find any problem. I didn't find any problems with these fences.
Well, the wire fence in the back that you says is enclosed in all the landscape materials is under 8. It's 7.5 if it's 90 inches. So it's under 8 feet. Diane, you take really great pictures. Did you take photos from the roadway that we can see what this white PVC gate presents as?
I'm not, did I? I did take pictures. I think I did take a picture from the driveway.
There's one.
Well, that's not
from the street, I was saying.
Hold on 1 second. No, you didn't send me any pictures for this property.
Okay.
I didn't submit any pictures.
Yeah. How far?
Because I thought his pictures were so clear.
So when you're standing on Scrimshaw Lane, the house is set fairly back, right? There's no fencing in front of the plane of the house, no gates.
No, nothing. There's
and
nothing.
It's just the PVC, which do you really see it from the road? The 6 foot? Okay.
If you wanted to see it, if you wanted to stop and see it, but you would not normally be aware of it, no.
Right. Well, I think
you can see from the survey where the house is situated. Right. Because
the fence looks like it's 130 feet back.
Right, and plus, aren't they allowed 6 feet behind the plane of the house?
Oh, easily.
Our review
up to 8.
And because this house is right across the street from the Feldman house, I've passed it many times, and it's not you're not aware of any fencing. It looks perfect. Most of the street has no fences and no driveway gates, and this fits right into the street.
Right, but my point, Peter, was that they can have 6 feet without ARB review. Over 6, then they need our review. So they really don't even need the review, even though this is a couple inches above. So we'll include it because it's 6'2", 6'4".
Yeah.
That's correct.
I'm okay with this. Does anybody have any questions?
Nope.
No.
Okay, Diane, why don't you move forward then?
Okay, then I make a motion to accept this application as presented, and so that the applicant can close out their fence permit.
Okay, can I get a second on that, Peter?
Second.
Esperanza?
Aye.
And Chip?
Aye.
Cody? Betsy, aye. Okay, Monica Thurman, tax map number 300-56-4-1.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. 8 Eli Circle, East Hampton. Anyone on the call, Michael, somebody from Vinmar Builders or Monica? And this is Chip.
Yeah, someone should be on the call from the builder.
Chair, I will unmute the caller that I see here. 1 moment, please.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello,
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yes, is this Randy?
Okay, so, yes, I've been trying to, you unmuted me a few times and you could never hear me. I don't know what happened.
Okay, well, wait,
my internet has been out, and so maybe.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back to Randy Feldman, tax map number 300-151-1-7 2469 Scrimshaw Lane. Okay, so Randy, we started going through what we were in front of us for, so I'm going to turn this over to you and Diane, okay?
Okay, may I just say that I'm sitting in my car, my internet's out, and I can't see. I know what I gave you, I just can't see it, that's all.
Okay, that's fine. So Diane, you want to talk to Randy to what you were telling us, your take on the colors?
Okay, Randy, so when I've observed to the board that depending on the time of day and the light of day, that the color is it's variable. And this is a picture taken where it doesn't look so dark. I mean, your options, you've given us 3 options and they're very similar. I mean, how do you feel about the change of the color of the gate? I mean, option 2 is obviously a middle ground.
Thank you for asking me. I appreciate that. So I think it was, yes, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
we
Hello?
can hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh,
yes.
Okay, I'm getting
We can hear you.
Okay, so, I appreciate that you asked me. I believe it was Betsy who at the last meeting suggested that I present some grays that looked like the panels on my front entrance. And that's what I attempted to do there. They are the grays that I see on those panels. I did notice, Diane, that what you say is true. Depending on the light of the day, the gray that is currently on the gate sometimes looks just like the lighter grays, the medium grays that I've presented. So I almost feel, I appreciate that you didn't want a dark color. I understand that. But I almost feel like it would be a silly exercise. I would strip the gate, repaint it, and I think sometimes, I don't think it's going to look that much different. And I mean, again, I don't find it offensive. If you would like me to go a little lighter, I'm willing to do it. I did, as you saw, cut the slats. The gate is now more open. It has 1-inch spaces. The height, I cut down the deer fencing to 6 feet. The height is, the gate will be, the 72 inches from finished grade. It's set back 43 feet. I mean, I'm hoping that you'll approve it as it is, but if you want me to go lighter, I'll do what you feel is necessary.
All right, Derek, do you have a picture there from the last meeting of the gate in its present state? Not the one that is not this one. That's from Diane this week.
The more current one.
Right.
I would just like to also remind the board that I am going to have greenery all around and up to the gate.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I also, I hear all of, the options, what the color current is. And first of all, Randy, let me thank you for submitting all those paint chips. When I'm just going to give my opinion and then I'm going to poll the board. When I saw the color chips, I saw that option 3, which I thought would have been the platinum, which it actually is a Delray gray, which I think is a little bit richer than your platinum. It has a little more saturation. Is that correct?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was lighter. I think the Delray is the lightest gray that's there.
Yeah, it is. But I'm saying, does that match your platinum, or is it a little bit more saturated than the platinum?
Yeah, I'm not really sure because I don't have it in front of me. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. So my initial thought was to go with the option 3, which was the lightest, because I felt that it was more saturated than the platinum. And my concern last meeting was that the platinum might be, look in the sunlight like too white, which is what's happening with the coloring that I almost feel that you're right. You know, for you to go ahead and go from option 2 is, you know, a little bit less darker than the current color. You know, honestly, I'm on the fence with this because I do think option 3 could be softer and less jarring than the current color. So, Esperanza, your take on this?
I actually was just holding these chips when Derek had the picture of the gate up, and I was leaning to the middle ground of option 2, just also because I'm keeping in mind sort of how light reflects on these colors or is absorbed by the colors, and and thinking also how the gate would appear if it were just a natural grade natural cedar. And I think that option 2 might lean toward that more.
Right.
But I don't know.
Chip? He's gone.
I'm right here. I would go with option 2 also.
May I ask what is option 2? Because I forgot to save a copy for me.
It's rock gray.
It's in between your current color and the lightest color, the medium gray. And Peter?
Rock gray, Randy, rock gray.
Peter, what's your take on this?
1615.
Yeah. I hate to use an analogy, but this is like deck chairs on the Titanic. I voted against this gate originally. I think the gate is not right in this location. I think it's a solid gate, right? So whatever you paint it, right, makes no difference to me. I will vote no because I object to the gate, not the color of it. I don't think the color makes any difference. I think it's a solid gate, right, which I think is wrong.
Right. Well, let me point out, and to Esperanza, who just mentioned it, you know, this gate, which was approved last year, was approved as a natural cedar gate.
Right.
It did not have a stain or a color on it. And from my understanding, because I was not with the board at that point, that the reason why this style went through was because it was a natural cedar gate, and that they felt the wood would sort of blend in with the natural topography of the, you know, the location off the road. So the fact that it's a color is what is throwing this whole thing off. So I understand how you feel about that, Peter, and I feel too. But at this point, you know, we can't go back and magically change it into something. I don't know if this was painted.
The vote doesn't need to be unanimous.
I know.
Object to the gate. I objected to the gate originally, did not vote for it. It was not a unanimous decision.
Okay.
I still vote no.
Okay.
For the gate, no matter what color it is.
All right. Got it. All right. So we'll take that and we're going to move on. Diane, what do you think at this point?
What do I think? I think that I think having it painted option 2, I think it's, you know, that we've been through so many things, and the client has, I believe, and to the best of her ability, tried to appease us.
Rectify.
I think that I would leave the gate as it is if everyone agreed with me, but option 2 I would think would be the alternate choice.
Okay, my opinion, because we're taking a poll, is that option 3 would be the better for me, because I think option 2, with regards to the way the light hits it, it's a much more saturated gray. And I think we'd be splitting hairs there to some extent, where if you went lighter, I think it would register lighter during the day as well as at night. So that's my opinion. Esperanza? I'm trying to get a consensus here for Randy.
Gosh, well, I don't know if we're headed in that direction. I'm going to stick to option 2. Otherwise, I'm thinking, as you know, I was not for this gate to begin with either. So.
Okay, so Chip?
Yeah, I agree with Esperanza. I don't love the gate. Option 2 is the least offensive of all the colors. It's not black.
Okay, then the 3 of us agree on option 2.
Fine. So as we spoke in the last meeting, Randy, just has to be, the color corrected to option 2 in the front. You don't have to do the back of the gate that faces your home. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, but I can paint both sides, right?
Yeah, sure.
You can, sure.
Yeah, okay. And which is option 2? Please remind me.
It's color number 1615, and it is called rock gray.
Okay, thank you very much. I will have that done immediately.
All right, so I'm sorry, Diane, can you read into the record, make a motion, please?
Yes, I make a motion that we accept all the modifications to date, including the change of the color to rock gray as presented by the applicant.
And what are the other?
Well, she has increased the spacing to 1 inch. She has cut down all the fencing.
Okay.
All right, I'm just trying to clarify this for Derek in the resolution. She is cutting down all the fencing to what and where?
All the fencing has been cut down to 6 feet that faces Scrimshaw. And it has been done. And the gate has been opened up somewhat to 1 inch spacings. And the applicant is willing to paint the gate rock gray, which seems to be the consensus of our board. So I make a motion that we accept this application.
Okay, Chip, can I get a second on that?
Second.
Betsy? Aye. Esperanza?
Aye.
And Peter?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, Randy, thanks. Good luck. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I have a question. May I ask you a question?
Yep.
May I ask you a question, please? So I will have this painted, and then I will apply for the next meeting, which is, I forget, December 10th, I think it is. And may I now, at the next meeting, can I apply for my, do I apply for a CO? I need to present for the permit. What do I do at the next meeting so I can close out my permit?
The work has to be done
The
before
building
you
department
apply.
has everything else. Sorry?
Yeah.
As long as the work is done before you apply for your final inspection, you can apply.
Right.
Wait, I can't hear you. Can you say it again?
As long as all work is done before you apply for your final inspection, you're okay. Then you can apply.
Okay, so do I need, okay, so all the work is, yes, that's true. So then what do I apply for at the December 10th meeting? Do I apply for a CO for my gate?
Randy, you shoot me an email.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
All right, no
Thanks,
problem.
Randy. Okay. Monica Thurman, tax map number 300-56-4-13 Eli Circle. We were waiting to see if there was anyone on the line, Michael, for this applicant.
I have a caller right now. I will mute and we will see. I'm unmuting now.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yes, this is Dan Waterwolf from Monica Thurman, 8 Eli Circle.
Great, thank you. Can you say your name again, please?
Yeah, the name is Dan Waterwa.
Can you spell that for the record?
WOTTAWA.
Great, thank you. All right, Chip, can you read into the record what this is for, please?
Sure. So this was an application that we tabled at our February 27th meeting. It's up by Sammy's Beach. It's a heavily landscaped lot. There's a couple of things that we have had issues with. The driveway gates, which are in place now, the posts are 7 feet 10 inches. The gates are 7 feet 4 inches. They're looking for guidance on cutting them down. Next photo, Derek. This is a lattice gate sort of to the side of the house, and it goes to the pool. This was 8 feet 8 inches tall. The fencing, the gate was 7 feet 10 inches. It has all been cut down to 6 feet 1 inch. So I have no problem with that. And then the house is the property is surrounded by deer fencing that runs 7 feet 10 inches in most places, professionally installed.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I was writing a note down. What?
The deer fencing surrounds the property. It is professionally installed and it's at 7 feet 10 inches consistently.
And where is that? In the back?
Everywhere. No, it's everywhere. It comes to either side of the front driveway gates, goes along the side of the house, and then goes across the back.
Okay, and the height of the gate is, you said it was 7 feet?
8, 10 inches, and the posts are 7 feet 10 inches, and the gates are 7 feet 4 inches, and they are looking for guidance on cutting them down.
Do we see a survey?
Please. But the rear gate and post that we're just looking at, that's all been cut to 6 feet, correct?
That's fine. The lattice part is fine.
And that's in the back?
It's on the side of the back, yes.
So let's start from the front and let's talk about fencing. 4-foot wire fencing in the front, is that correct?
The colors you're looking at, that's their proposal to cut it down to 4 feet. In a discussion with Dan this afternoon, I told him that it doesn't need to be cut down to 4 feet. It could be 6 feet in front of the house.
Well, we'd prefer if it wasn't.
Right. But they're willing to cut it down to 4 feet. But the property is extremely heavily landscaped. I do have a little bit of concern about the deer eating all their bushes.
Do we have photographs?
Yes, we have photographs from last time, Derek.
Here. We have this, and this. And hey, pups.
Is that the fencing?
Yeah, you can just see the deer fencing is on black poles. Yes, the mesh deer fencing.
Because it looks like is it just the photography? It looks like it's a wooden fence.
No, that's the neighbor's fence beyond it.
And all of this is almost 8 feet all around.
Yes, 7 feet 10 inches.
And
there it is.
Oh.
There it is. I think that's it.
Any other pictures that we could get a feel for this property?
Yeah, I have pictures of the front gates. These are their pictures, or maybe my pictures from last time. This is their pictures. So that's the front lawn looking from the house towards the street. And that's the driveway gates upside down. Yeah, there we go. So there are the driveway gates that are, we went over that are they 20, Dan, are they 20 feet off the road edge?
Yes.
Yeah.
They might be 21 from the road's edge.
Yeah. So Dan, talk about what you propose to do with the driveway gates.
What I'd like to propose is I submitted a drawing that I would lower the gates down. The gates themselves would actually be 5'6" in height, 4 inches off the ground of grade, which would put the top of the gate at 5'10", and then my post on the other side would be at 6 foot from grade to the top of its cap.
So does that imply cutting any portion of the gate? I'm trying to figure that out.
I think he's going to redo the gates altogether.
What the owner of the property will have to do in this situation, it's unfortunate, but we would just remove everything that's there now existing that you see in the photos, including the columns, and we would start then from scratch with this proposed drawing that we've submitted.
It wouldn't be worth exploring as we do.
There's no way for us to modify the existing gates to make anything that would look and appear to be, creative and nice and clear cedar. So the owner has come to terms with to demolish the existing gates that you see in front of you that are on the property.
I believe that there's a code violation on this property, correct? For the gates and the fencing?
We just
Can we
found
take a
out.
look at the gate again? Can we take a look at the actual gate that there's now?
You're putting it up on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is a violation of the existing gate.
The driveway gate, Derek. Chip, my point is, some of the landscaping that's outside of the fencing near the front gate, I noticed hasn't been, chewed down. And if the applicant was willing to drop all that gating down, the fencing down to 4 feet, why wouldn't we just say, go ahead?
We could. There we go.
That picture of the open gates.
Yeah. And you don't think that if they cut off the top open part of that gate and the posts down to where just the frame of the solid part is, that would be somewhat like around a 4 foot gate?
Right.
And it would, be in line with your 4 foot fencing, and then you don't have to get ARB approval.
You could
even. It happens to like the design of the existing gates and was asking if we take that design and shrink it down, which would be roughly in 2/3 sections, where we have 1/3 of the upper in the cross member open section with a solid 2/3 on the lower half, so it architecturally is more pleasing to the eye.
I don't really see all that much difference, but I'm not a gate designer. So let's take a look at the rendition. We're trying to, now what's that? Oh,
That's the existing gate also.
What?
We don't have it. We don't have a rendition of the new gate.
Yeah, there was, but
the drawing. Hold on.
There was a drawing, but what is that?
But can I just? Why couldn't you just cut this and use the lattice work as your main part of the gate and cut down the posts?
I went over this with Dan this afternoon in a phone conversation. They just don't want to do that, so I backed off on it.
Okay, well, I just think
that's his.
It's not going to be that much lower, really, in the scheme of things.
But he's looking for a 6 foot gate.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's
the
seven
gate's
something
actually-
now, so it's above code. So he's got to do something, and he's asking us to
Right.
approve the new 6-foot gate.
Yeah, 5 feet 8.
The gates are now 7 feet 4 inches.
Right. But the posts are going to end up being 6 feet. So to me, it's a 6-foot gate. It's 5'10" and 6 foot. Let's take a look at the drawing for the new gate. I don't see all that much difference than the fact that they're reducing it.
Right.
And, just to tell you, I'm sorry, Dan, is it right? Yeah, Dan. We're really trying very hard to not approve the top height that is allowed by the ARB to approve. We're really asking applicants to consider going a little bit lower. I'm not familiar with Eli Circle. I understand that you're up in the Northwest Woods, or are you up in Springs? Where are you?
Sammy's Beach.
Sammy's Beach. Right? Okay. What else is going on up in that neighborhood, Chip?
It's a cul-de-sac with similar landscaped houses. Some are gated, some are not. It's a side street. It's not a major thoroughfare. It's a loop.
Well, I'm asking if you would consider going back to your original plan to reduce all the fencing down to 4 feet, and to even try to reduce the height of this gate at 6. Maybe a suggestion would be go to 5 feet on the gate and maybe knock the fencing down to 5 feet. How does the board feel about that? We're below 6 and above 4.
Yeah.
As long as they're going to make a new gate.
Yes, that's what I think. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, as long as they're going to make a new gate, it would be great if the new gate was
lower,
wasn't
substantially lower.
Yeah. Right.
What do you
they
think?
seem to have this architectural integrity in mind, but
Right.
I mean,
What do you think, Dan?
The proportions.
Was that for me? I didn't hear that.
Yes. I was saying, I was asking the board their opinion. One of my recommendations was for you to consider is to lower the height of the 6-foot gate. We're unless there's really a good reason for it to be at 6, we're trying to keep things down in the 4 or 5 foot range, because there's just way too many big gates going up, and we're losing the integrity of our town with all these big gated areas. And you were willing to drop your fencing down to 4. Chip's point is that, you've got, some landscaping in there. So if we said, let's keep it all at 5 and keep the gate at 5, I think that might be sort of happy medium for you. It's up, but that you need to let us know what you would like to do.
I would have to speak to the owner, and in my previous conversations, she would be really looking for a post to be at the height of 6 feet, one for privacy. It is set back about 21 feet from the edge of the road. It is going to be a well-designed gate. It's not going to be something that's unpleasant to anybody's eye. It is in a loop-around road, not on a main thoroughfare. She does have extensive landscaping on her property, and as you can see, some of it is wider at the road where the deer won't have access to really jump in that distance. They might get height, but they won't go distance. Therefore, she was okay with the 4-foot fence by lowering that, trying to see if we would be able to get approved on a 6-foot gate, which gives her a little bit more privacy and a little bit more in her architectural detail of her gate that she's willing to spend a lot of money on to make it work, for everybody.
Here's the thing. You've seen the property. I'm suggesting we push for 5 feet on that gate. I'd love for all that fencing to go to 4 if she feels that that's going to give her enough to protect based on the way her property is laid out and landscaped. How do you feel about this, Chip, from your perspective being out there?
Well, I mean, I do respect their idea to protect their shrubbery. Whether it's a 5 or 6 foot gate, it's set far back, it's shrubbed heavily as you enter. I'm indifferent to that. If they want to cut the fencing in front of the house down to 4 feet, that would be a bonus. But they seem, I mean, it seems weird to have 4 foot deer fencing and a 6 foot gate.
Well, that's my proposal, that they actually reduce the gate to, as in the prior ones with Katie, like a 4 feet 3 inches or 4 feet 5 inches or something like that. I think that I would be really much more attuned with that for this neighborhood.
Well, the other thing that we can consider, and I'm going to go somewhere with this, Dan, so hear me out. The further back, the more less reluctant the board is to approve something over 4 feet. So what I'd like to do is I'd like for you to consider all the suggestions that the board made. And I'm not asking you to make a decision tonight, but my thinking is, since this driveway is narrow from, you know, where you're looking to keep it, the gate, to where it could be if you moved it further back, to come back to us with possibly another location further back down the road where maybe the 6 foot gate would be more palatable if the owner is, you know, reluctant to reduce it to 4 or to 5. And let's revisit this at the next meeting. I don't want to belabor this and have you make a decision tonight, because we've got 20 more applicants and we've been going at it for over 2 hours. So if you wouldn't mind tabling this and consider all the options.
Yeah, I understand that. That would be great. If the board could just simply take into consideration, if they look at the photo of the front existing gates now, by us lowering them down to what we're asking for at 6 feet, she does have some nice landscaping that are going to flank either side of the post and the gate, which wouldn't throw that particular fence, that gate or post out of proportion with her landscaping. So it's not like we're going to be looking at a front yard where we have a grossly oversized 6 foot gate that is towering above the 4 foot fence, which we won't see the 4 foot fence because it's engulfed by the landscaping that surrounds it. I just want the board to, if they could, please take a look at the photo and try to understand and see if that maybe would help.
No, I get that. I get it. So what you want to do is you want to keep the gate where it's located because of the type of landscaping that you have in front and behind it. Is that correct?
Correct. And also that at 6 foot, understand the one we're looking at is nearly 8 feet. If that was brought down to 6 feet, it wouldn't look like an obstruction just sitting out there. It would be still flanked by landscaping on either side, keeping a scale of that fencing in line with everything surrounding it.
Right. But you're also looking, if I'm not mistaken, for those posts to be pretty wide at 13 inches. Is there any way that we can scale back the dimension of those posts so they're not so big? I think that would also help the look of the gate if you were to keep it towards the 6 foot height. It wouldn't look so massive.
Sure. I absolutely could scale that down. I would even take a suggestion from the board on what scale they might be looking for if they prefer.
No, we don't design it. We just so again, why don't we do this? Why don't you take all those, you know, suggestions into play, with the height of the gate that you would like, narrowing the posts and keeping all the fencing at 4, and then you can come back to us with some options. Unless you want to do the posts now, you tell us what you want and we can take a vote on it.
I could narrow these posts down easily to 10 inches in width, which is architecturally in line with the style and rail system, which is 5 inches. By doubling that number of 5 keeps me in an architectural scale that's nice. And those columns won't overpower anything else that's around it.
So instead of 13-inch wide, they'll be 10-inch wide?
Correct.
That's not a big change.
Okay,
Chip.
so if you like, you want to table it so I don't consume any more of your time.
Well, unless you feel, that we're heading somewhere, I don't want to put you off another month unless, you're willing,
No,
you wanted to do. Go ahead.
I would love to, if we could come to a resolution on this evening would be fantastic. I have all my drawings and notes out in front of me. Again, even if I had gone down, I'm not opposed to, an 8-inch column, which will still make this very attractive.
Okay, so let me present this to the board. If we were to approve the gate as presented at the height, but the posts get narrowed down from 13 to 8 inches square, and all of the fencing becomes 4 feet, is this something that we would be willing to approve? Chip?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Esperanza?
No.
And Diane?
Yes.
And Esperanza, do you want to make a comment or just no?
I think that it could be lower, and I don't feel that there's a need to have such an imposing gate in this area.
Well, I'm going to, because we've been back and forth with this, and I think because that they are willing to drop all that fencing down to 4 feet, and they are dropping the larger gate down, that I'm going to, take the vote. So Chip, do you want to make a motion?
So I make a motion that the deer fencing be reduced to no higher than 4 feet for the entire property, and that the gate be dropped down to 6 feet with corresponding posts no taller than 6 feet.
Right. I think the gate is like 5'10"?
The gate right now is 7'4".
No, the gate that they're proposing is 5'10", and the posts are 6 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. And the post will be 8 inches wide.
I don't think the width of the post has a.
Well, it does. It creates it makes it massive. And if you're willing to do it, it's a way to just try to, reduce this in girth.
No, fine. So Dan, are you going to widen the gate so the driveway is 14 feet, the gates are 14 feet?
Yes, actually in the drawing, it's a little larger than that. So when they're in the open position, it's a little larger than 14 feet. Which is a request for emergency vehicles so that there's, less possibility of any damage.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
We increase the width of that also.
Okay.
So based on Chip's proposal, can I get a second on that, Peter?
Yes, second.
And all in favor, Diane?
Aye.
Betsy? Aye. And Esperanza, no. Okay. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you working with us.
Thank you for your time.
Have a good evening. The next application, Peter Summer and Gabrielle McNair Summer, tax map number 300-74-4-7 has been postponed. Next on the agenda is James and Joanne Dam, tax map number 300-19-3-33, and that is 38 Gloucester Avenue in Montauk. I don't know if there's anybody on the call in. I don't need them, but if there is, you'll let me know, Michael.
Chair, in fact, there's a caller that's been coming in and out throughout the evening. I'm going to unmute them and see if it's pertaining to them. Hello, caller. Are you there? Hello, caller? I guess not. You can move on, Chair.
Michael?
Okay. So I would like for you to look at this gate, because that's what it's in front of us for. It's a 6-foot metal gate on metal posts. And Derek, if you could really quick put up the survey. I want to explain this property. So if you look down on the corner, right, this is the property. It's like a pie shape. And that area where Greenwich and Gloucester Avenue meet down at the corner is all, open. There's no fencing. You'll see that behind the plane of the house, it says, I think it says water meter or something like that over on near Greenwich Street. That's where the fencing is. And any other fencing that's there is not visible that goes around the back because it's so heavily landscaped with very large mature evergreens, arborvitaes. So really the only thing they're asking for is approval on this 6-foot wire fence. But since it's behind the plane of the house, David, they don't even need our approval on this, correct?
Correct, Chair.
So can we return their application fee?
I believe so.
Okay, so Derek, will you take care of that for us?
Oh, wait a minute, all right? I mean, they don't need to come to us if it's 4 feet, but don't we get approval? Don't we need to approve everything up to
above six on the back? And this is at 6. So anything above 6 behind.
I mean, you have Greenwich Street and Gloucester Avenue. I mean, this is a corner lot. So I'm not sure they have multiple front yards facing a public street.
You're right to that. So they do need our approval.
I think they do.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we can certainly give it.
Yes. No, you're right. I was looking at it more from the positioning of the house that faces the front, where Gloucester comes down around to the tip of the pie.
Right.
But you're right. Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to approve this small area of 6-foot fencing along the plane of the house. Can I get a second, Peter?
I second.
All in favor, Diane?
Yes.
Esperanza?
Aye.
And Chip? Chip?
Maybe he's on a little doggy.
That's okay. Majority. So this is approved. Okay.
Okay.
Next one. Carl DeBrito, tax map number 300-171-1-4.2, 38 Windmill Lane in Amagansett.
Again.
Esperanza.
Yes. Give me a moment, please. So
Also, Michael, we're looking for Madeline Van John, if anybody's on the line.
I have a caller. I'll unmute now. We'll see who it is. Unmuting.
Hi, this is Madeline.
Hi, Madeline.
Hi.
All right, Esperanza, if you can read into the record.
Just to recap, I don't seem to have, let me just say, oh, here. So this is an application that has been before us several times for a driveway gate. It's Windmill Lane, Amagansett. The applicant requests the gate for property enhancement. And it is it was originally a 6-foot gate in clear cedar and then painted white. The applicant has returned it to us, as I said, several times, and the most recent redesign has come before us as a, let me just see, one moment, make sure I have the correct. It is essentially a 6-foot gate. The posts with caps would be at 6 feet. The gate would be 5 feet 8 inches. And it would be stained a mahogany color. And there is a rendering of that. I just submitted this photograph, which is almost from the corner of Windmill Lane, so you can see as it is today, currently.
Right, and that's a public land that is behind that chain link fence, right?
Correct.
Like a water authority or somebody like that.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. And this is the proposed color and design.
Right. So let me just backtrack. When this was before us originally, we have been, as a board, trying to talk the applicant into reducing the height of this because of the location, that it's close to the road and that the area does not have large 6-foot gates, and we don't want to set a precedent. There's a few all the way up towards the end that we don't believe have approval, one or two of them. And we've been trying for a 5-foot gate in this area because of the location across from the inn that has a lot of fencing, but it's all at 4 feet and it's all natural wood. Is that correct, Esperanza?
Yes, and I'm just going to read from the letter that was sent. It does indicate how, due to the topography of the applicant's property, which you can't really see that here, it does slope a little bit. The ground at the location where the gate is proposed, which it indicates is 20 feet from the edge of the pavement, is approximately 1 foot lower than the ground at the edge of the pavement. As such, the gate would only reach a height of approximately 5 feet if measured from natural grade at the edge of the pavement along Windmill Lane rather than the natural grade directly beneath the gate. So what they're demonstrating or trying to prove is that it wouldn't look like a 6-foot gate. It would look more like a 5-foot gate because of this slope.
Right. So if I can just address a couple things that I think from last time, I know Brian from my office was presenting the application last time, and at that time we were proposing the gate in white, and I know the board did not like the white, and we're hoping that our client would agree to go for a natural wood. So that's why we're now proposing the mahogany, the natural mahogany stain instead. And originally the board had approved a lower gate that was white and was a lot less transparent. So instead, in exchange for trying to raise the gate 8 inches, instead we're offering the natural wood color with very increased transparency. You can see from the rendering that it's basically, you can see through it. The main purpose of the gate is to keep people walking, cars, from the hotel across the street. They're not looking to create any kind of privacy wall or anything. It's really just to keep people out of that area from traffic from the hotel.
Right. Well, I don't think anybody's going to scale a 5-foot gate. I don't think anybody's going to scale a 6-foot gate that is staying at the inn across the street.
Or a 4-foot gate for that matter.
4-foot gate. And I appreciate that through, the process, we've come up with a nice open gate. It's not white. I think we're making headways. Esperanza, where are you with this?
I really also appreciate the redesign. I still would push for the lower height.
I am in agreement, particularly because this is so close to the road and it's such a narrow road to begin with. Windmill Lane is, a lane, and it's a neighborhood, and I just think it's going to present like a big gate. And with all the fencing across the street, it's just, and I understand that, that where they live is in a situation that has been created over the years. And I understand that they don't want people walking down their driveway in the evening or whatever, because it's a lovely piece of property. They might think it's a park because you don't really see the house from there. But I still think 6 foot, we're really, Madeline, we are so much trying to reduce the number of new gates going up that are, above 4 feet. And we're given leeway for another foot.
Yeah, no, I understand. I guess that the only confusion I have is that our understanding at the last meeting was that the board would entertain this height if we changed it to natural wood. That's the reason why we came back with this, because the board had already approved a 5-foot white gate that was much less transparent. So that's the reason why we came back with this. We wouldn't have
come back if we weren't under the impression that the board would entertain it if we did come back with the gate in the natural wood color. So I think that's a little bit where the confusion is stemming from, maybe as to what happened from last time to this time. Because
well,
again,
I think what happened from last time to this time was that the board was pretty strongly suggesting that the gate be 5 feet. You gave us a 5 foot, if I'm not mistaken, a 5 foot white gate, or was it a 6 foot at that point? Or we asked for it to be 5, and we thought that white presents very boldly, and that would they consider doing a natural gate? I don't know if anyone on this board in Esperanza who has this application could speak to this, that was suggesting that if you make it natural, we're going to approve a 6 foot gate, because we've all along been very adamant about a large gate on that space. Esperanza?
Right, it is 5 feet 8, not 6 feet. Just to be clear, it's 5 feet 8 inches, not 6 feet.
It's essentially what we're saying, 6 feet
It's
only
a 6
because
foot gate. The posts are 6. It presents as 6. So Esperanza.
Okay.
You know, I like, again, I can't begin to recall all the meetings we've had about this or all the discussions we've had about this. I can recall my position throughout has been that a tall gate here would not be ideal. And I'm looking at the original submission, and it was a 6 foot gate in painted white. I mean, not original, one of the last ones. You know, I can't recall from.
Right. That was our modification application. The thing is, the board had originally we submitted the gate, the white, more transparent gate at 5 feet 8 as a modification, but the board had originally agreed when the applicant was speaking on his own behalf. Originally, the board had agreed to the original white gate at 5 feet that was less transparent. So we could, we did have the approval for that, which is why, so we could go back and do that and put the 5 foot white gate, but that was much thicker. But the reason we're doing this is we thought that it would be, you know, the board would appreciate, instead of any white gate, having this much more transparent gate in a natural wood color. That was the trade-off we were trying to offer here.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I think that the more open gate is a more attractive look for the property. And I think one of my points being is that the house isn't a white house. So to have a white gate when the house is natural cedar wood was from a aesthetic point of view, a better match for the house and the property. So I'm going to poll the board and ask them what they'd like to do, and we'll go from there. So I'm all for the mahogany.
Can I just ask a question just to clarify?
Go ahead.
Sorry. So we do have the 5 foot white gate approved. So it's not really a question of if the board would be approving that versus approving something different. This is just a modification that we were asking for, just to clarify.
Well, when Carl DeBrito was before us and he agreed to a 5 foot gate, we approved it. But I don't believe there was ever a resolution.
He withdrew, I think. He withdrew it.
So you don't have approval for that gate. So let me poll the board.
I'll have to go back and review that, but okay.
Well, let me ask Derek. Do you recall, Derek, if we ever did a resolution? No, because we would have signed it. No, we don't have a resolution.
We were about to sign it, and it was withdrawn.
Right.
Withdrawn, yes.
All right. So anyway, I'm for a 5 foot gate in the mahogany style that you've presented. I believe that's where Esperanza is, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Peter?
Yes, 5 foot gate in mahogany.
And Chip?
Yes, 5 foot gate, mahogany, transparent.
And Diane?
Yes, same 5 foot gate in mahogany.
All right, so that's where the board's at. So we could table this and have you come back to us if you'd like, or we can approve that tonight.
I will have to table it because, you know, the client had asked for the 5 foot 8. He wasn't proposing the 5 feet, so I will have to table that and go back to him. And I would like to ask him regarding the withdrawal of the application as well, to see what he thinks happened with that.
Okay, thanks, Madeline. I appreciate you doing that for us.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right, have a good evening. All right,
Chair, I'm sorry if I may interject. Betsy, I'm sorry.
Yes.
There's a caller on hold who's been trying to call in here and there, and if you don't mind, I think it's from a past application that they might have
Okay,
missed.
it very well be Ramon.
One moment. Unmuting that caller right now.
Hello?
It's Ramon. Ramon Martin. Hello?
Hi.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, can you hear us?
Hello? Hello, this is Ramon. Ramon Chavez?
Hi, Ramon.
Hey, Ramon.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good.
So you're on. Okay. So let's go back to page 3. Jeremy Taylor, tax map number 300-54-3-825 Terry's Trail. And Peter, if you could read into the record what the application is for.
The application, we
this is
kindly
for the driveway
request
gate.
ARB approve to keep existing front gates at 6 feet and existing deer fence approximately, 8 feet.
Okay,
Why do I have it's 5'4", the gate?
Yeah, me too.
It's
Right, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Oh, we have to go back.
Is this just for a gate?
I'm here from the beginning, but nobody heard me when I was calling for the first time.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's been a long night. I'm sorry, Ramon.
Yeah.
I believe this is just for this white gate.
This is, oh, wait a minute.
25 Terrace Trail.
25 Terry's Trail, in East Hampton.
Yes.
A driveway gate.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Got the right one. Is this an electric gate?
Yes, it is. I submit the papers for electric gate too.
Okay. The survey, it looks like the gate is right on the property line.
I'm going to excuse myself for a minute. Keep going.
Yeah, it's a little bit because Sylvie is 20 feet from the road.
Well, when I measured from what I thought was roughly the edge of the pavement to where the gate would be, so that you have the clearance on it, I only got 12 to 14 feet. When you push it back to 20 feet, you see where the driveway splits. I don't see how you can be 20 feet back.
Oh,
so
that's a very good question. That's a very good question. Thank you. We're going to modify the driveway. The driveway is going to modify.
Oh, you have to modify the driveway. That's what I was afraid of.
Yes, we're going to modify the driveway in order to make the driveway even too, because otherwise, we're not going to make it 5 feet tall. One side is going to be too high, one side is going to be too low. It's going to be crazy. But we're going to modify the driveway.
Okay. And where is the keypad?
The keypad should be, always we put the keypad 10 feet out from the gate. You're not going to allow me to put 10 feet from the gate. I can put next to the gate.
Okay. And the keypad has to be on the property.
Okay, no problem. I put it inside the property. Okay.
Right. So if the keypad is in the property, and then the gate is 10 foot back, I think we need a drawing to show how you're going to modify the driveway. Because I don't see how you can do this with this drawing.
Yeah, that's why I made the gate 16, because otherwise I'm going to make 15. And I made the gate 16 in order to modify the driveway and do it that way. You need I send you a drawing for that?
Yes, I think so, I'm afraid, because I don't see how you can do that without some major modification. And this doesn't show any grading, but there's a lot of grade change in this area.
Peter, did you take photographs of the area that we can look at?
Yes, I did.
Derek, can you pull those up, please?
The driveway company already involved on that. The driveway company already make a contract about to modify the driveway.
I think we need to table this until we see that drawing.
Really? You don't think that he can, if he says he can put it where you're suggesting he puts it, then when, if that's where he's got to put it, I don't understand why we got to hold off on this. If it's a 5'4" gate.
If you think you can understand where the gate is, right, and where the keypad is, and it looks as if it's going to be a major modification.
Well, but that's not our concern.
Well, isn't the location of the gate?
Yeah, I'm trying to do the best I can. And if we're going to be, definitely we're going to be into the property. Even if it's 22, 23, 25, we have to be inside the property line. And the keeper is going to be inside the property line either. Now, just the issue is about the driveway. The driveway is going to modify in order to we can make a 16 feet. The gate, because right now the driveway is too wide, is huge, because it's coming from two sizes. But we're going to meet to the gate with the driveway.
So, am I understanding correctly? You're not going to have the loop of the driveway, so the gate would be farther in. Is that how it's being addressed?
Yes, we're going to modify the loop on the side.
A site plan drawing which shows the driveway, right, as modified, where the keypad is, like where the gate is.
Right. Okay. So Ramon, if you could do that, if you could give us a more specific drawing for that area, how you're going to modify that circular driveway to accommodate this, that's what Peter's requesting.
Okay.
All right. Let me just say this before you go away, though. Does anybody have a problem with the design of the gate, the height of the gate?
I had a question.
Okay.
With regard to the size of the columns, which is not indicated from what I could see.
Can we look at the drawing, Derek?
Hello?
Hi, are you there? Okay.
Do you have dimensions for the columns for the posts?
Is it on the other side that I'm not seeing, or there's no height?
No, that's the extent of the drawing.
So,
Ramon, can you speak to the exact height from the grade to the top of the columns?
The top of the columns is going to be 5 feet 4 inches.
No, I know the 5 feet 4 inches is the height, and 5 feet is the gate, but the width of the columns is what is not indicated.
The width
is going to be 11 inches.
Okay.
Can we make that a little bit smaller?
Yeah, that's
yes, that's something I can ask to the owner.
Yeah, so
less than 11 inches.
Yes, maybe we can go down to 8 inches.
Okay.
As a
let me ask them.
suggestion to
Okay.
consider?
I think the proportions at 11 inches will be correct.
You do, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
What,
also
because of the,
11 is better
excuse
because
me
of
a
the
minute. Excuse me, because of the width of the gate, you're saying, Peter, that you would need that girth?
Width of the gate and the size of the horizontal pieces.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
All right, so I'm going to make a note that the top of, from the grade to the top of the post is 5'4", and that the columns are 11 inches wide, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we're good with the gate design, and this is going to be a white gate?
Clear
No.
cedar.
Sugar clear cedar.
Clear cedar, great.
Clear cedar.
Yes.
So it's not white?
Not white.
No.
Okay, excellent, okay. And the keypad is somehow going to be on the property, and you're going to give us a drawing of the new layout of the driveway and how the gate's going to position in it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and our next meeting
Yeah,
is December 10th. So you have a couple weeks to get that to Derek. But just make sure it's the week before, which would be December 3rd, before 12 noon.
Yeah, I know the owner is going to kill me because the last meeting should be there, but I put the papers in the wrong packet in the and never I found those those papers. But it's okay. I see you next meeting. Okay.
Next meeting, right? Because we don't have one the end of this month because 2 weeks from now is Thanksgiving, so we won't have one for the holiday. Okay, and then we don't have one at the end of December because of Christmas. So next December 10th is the last meeting of the year. So let's try to get this finished up for you by then, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Ramon.
Okay. All right, Peter, you're good with all that?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Okay. All right, thanks, Ramon.
Thank you.
All
Okay,
right,
thank you. Bye.
extension of time. Farah Dib, tax map number 300-35-2-3, 46 Hedges Banks Drive in East Hampton. Peter.
Do we have anybody on the line for this?
Chair, yes, I believe we do. I'll unmute the caller on hold right now.
Hi, Roy Greenberg for the applicant. Good evening, and thanks for staying here 2.5 hours to listen to me. Wow, a long meeting. Thank you.
Well, you know what? We're going to do you a favor. If all this goes through, we're going to jump to your C of O.
Thank you. That's kind of you.
It's the least we can do.
Roy, why do you need a extension of time when this was approved in May 5th, 2014?
That's a very fair question, and it's one that I asked as well. And I tracked down the answer for you. And the answer is the gate company that did this, without the aid of an attorney, did it all by themselves, directly with the client, and they didn't understand that they needed an inspection. Now, I know it says in black and white pretty clearly on the resolution that you need an inspection. But when I have an email from the gate company, it said they called the town once, they didn't get a call back, so they stopped. And that's the truth, as silly as it is. That's the answer.
Okay.
I can't. Okay.
Peter, can you tell us what this is for, please?
The resolution says, right, this was, as I said, a resolution which was issued on May 5th, 2014. Resolved, the board approved a wood, mahogany / cedar driveway gate, a maximum of 6 feet high, as noted in red on the specification sheet, with wood columns as per specification sheet, and survey prepared by George Walbridge, last revised November 6, 2012, stamped approved. Driveway gates and columns to be located 20 feet from edge of pavement.
Okay, and is that what is there?
Could we go to the photographs, Derek?
I want to make one note. I have never been able to find the Walbridge survey that was approved with the specifications on it. Has anybody ever seen it?
I haven't. The one I have
You mean the resolution?
issued.
No, the resolution refers to a specific survey specifications noted in red. I can't find it. The gate company says they don't have it. So I thought if you have it and we did the wrong thing, then I understand that we didn't follow your instructions.
How about that one? The one that's on the screen now.
I don't have anything on the screen now.
Sir, just wait one moment. It will be up
Yeah, there's a
temporarily.
little time delay.
Uh-huh.
Roy.
Okay, that's fine. I have a lot of greenery.
It's coming.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Wow. Thank you. Yes, I'd love to get a copy of that too at some point.
Gate location 16 feet off roadside, which has been crossed out to 20 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. By me using a measuring scale, a surveyor scale, it looks like I have the 20 feet. That's what it looks like to me.
Yes.
Did you come up with the same
I
measurement?
measured it, and it is right off the roadway. But if we could go now to the latest survey.
I actually didn't get a
That I
chance
do
to scan it, but I have it right here. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it work.
Not working, Derek.
No. Oh, that's
Make it work.
kind of. If we
Go
could,
up higher,
Doing
go
fine
up
so
higher.
far.
Go up higher, Derek. Hey, let me ask you, stay where you are, Derek, but let me ask, Michael, can you put Derek holding that up on the large part of our screen?
Yes, just a second, please.
Hold on one second.
No, Derek, we're good, we're good. You almost had it. We're just gonna move you up.
Okay, that's in an itty bitty little box, but in any
It's
case,
coming up right
make your
now.
comments.
It'll
I
be
have
up in
there
a
it
second
is.
for you, sir, on the delay. And just to say, before he sees that on the delay, on LTV's website, you can see on our homepage that you can click a YouTube link and watch this with less delay, much less.
I didn't know that. I'm actually at the LTV site, livestream22.ltveh.org.
Exactly.
Derek, do you know what the date of that survey is?
October 5th of this year.
Okay, so it's current. And is there, I couldn't see, is there a location of the gate? I'm just trying to understand why we're spending all this time with this. Is the gate there?
The gate is there, but there are a couple of problems.
What are those problems,
The
please?
problems are that, a wire fence that is 8 foot high is across the front of the property,
Mm-hmm.
right, along Hedges Bank Road, which is beyond the property line.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a section on the northwest corner of the fence, which is also 8 foot high and is beyond the property
Okay,
line.
okay. That being said, the gate, right?
Thank you.
That was approved. Is that gate there and is it to what was approved? Because that's what we're asking for the extension of time. We can deal with the fencing, when we get to the C of O section. But let's deal with this extension of time. It has nothing to do with the gate.
The extension of time is only because they didn't get a C of O.
They didn't close it out. Exactly. So are you giving them the extension of time?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
I'd like to make a motion
Please.
that we give, Farah Dib an extension of time as requested.
All right, can I get a second on that, Esperanza?
second.
All in favor, Diane?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Betsy? Yes. All right, let's go to the top of page 5 for C of O.
Okay.
Okay, and now, Roy, because you
Yes.
need to get this in compliance in order for us to give you a certificate of occupancy for the gate. Peter's going to tell you what you need to do, or what you can
Okay,
do.
Peter, I'm all ears. Go ahead.
Okay. The gate is acceptable. I don't have any drawings or details of what the gate is, but both the gate and the post, right, are at 6 feet.
Okay.
It is a solid
Hallelujah.
gate.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Did you take a picture?
Yes.
Can we see it? Look, there it is.
There it is.
Like a wall. And it's white.
And
But
it's
it
a-
was
Well, it's
approved.
actually, it's a gray.
There's your gray, Betsy.
The gray white wall.
You know what? I just want to say this because I want to put all the stuff out there. We don't have to approve the extension of time for this gate.
I know, yeah. But we already did.
We could retract it because we didn't know that it was a 6-foot white wall.
Right.
Let me ask you a question because I understand your concern. What was approved originally on that survey that I hadn't seen until just 10 minutes ago? What did they say anything about the specs? Did they say don't do this or
No,
don't do that?
it would just show the location of the gate.
Okay, so we didn't stupidly violate anything 6 years ago. That's good.
No.
Okay.
Basically, it says that this was going to be a mahogany gate. This was what was approved.
Okay.
Finish gray color stain to match home.
All right, let me ask you this, Peter. Based on the location of this gate and that it's been there since 2014,
Or
are
there,
you okay with the extension of time for this gate?
yes.
Okay, then let's move forward. Does anybody have a no to that? Where is Hedges Banks Lane? That's all the way up where?
On the water.
Yeah, it's way
Right
out.
on the water. The other side's on the water, yeah.
Right.
It's on
And how
Gardens
does it
Bay, yeah.
fit within the neighborhood, Peter?
There are a few other gates, certainly not as solid as this, right? But, right, this is what was approved.
Okay.
Do we have the option at this point not to? I don't believe so.
No.
Well,
You know, here's the thing, if I think what the situation, I think we probably could, but what I want to say, in fairness, if the gate wasn't built and they were
Right.
looking to get an extension of time to rebuild the gate that was approved in 2014, I think this board would have said, no, if you're going to rebuild this gate, or
Well,
if you're
actually
going to
build
build this gate, then we would have asked them to reduce the height, open it up, but the gate's
Agreed.
there. Okay, so let's talk about the fencing. What can he do to bring this into compliance so he can get a C of O for the gate?
Well, I think he needs to, submit an application to put fencing, right, on the property. And he needs to reduce the fencing that's there down to 6 feet and bring it onto the property, both in the front.
But we didn't approve anything at 6 feet. If
Pardon
this is in the front facing the road, he needs to come to us with an application, what he'd like to approve. We can approve up to 6, but we didn't approve 6 feet.
Right.
Okay,
That's why I said he needs to submit an application
right.
and modify what is there to bring it within the property line and reduce what's there down to no higher than 6 feet.
Okay.
Request.
Yes,
Yes.
request.
Because Roy, you are entitled to a 4-foot fencing in the front facing property. Anything higher than 4, you need ARB approval. And we
Right.
will have to
Front
go
fence
through the
4.
process, okay?
I
So
have a question for you. That's okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. Finish, please.
that's okay. No, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm looking at an older survey that I have on this where there was some fencing. I can't tell what it was or what the height was. You know, can you tell, is it my clients who put up an 8-foot fence, or has it been there forever, or it doesn't make any difference?
I don't know.
Or...
But here's
Okay,
the
fair enough.
problem. Regardless, it's not on your property. You can't get a C of O for your gate when you have fencing that's above 4 feet without ARB approval. And if it's front facing the road, we will not approve. We cannot approve anything over 6 feet. And it, as Peter says, it's off the property. So regardless of what height it is, it's going to have to be moved onto the property. Now you can take that fencing and get rid of it, and then you don't need to do an application, or you can take that fencing, move it onto the property and make it 4 feet. You don't need an application, but you would need to let us know that that work has been done, so we would go out and do site inspection for the C of O for the gate.
Right, now you need that fence that's in the front. Is that the only one that you need moving onto the property, or you need all the fencing moved onto the property?
All the fencing needs to be moved onto the property in order to get a certificate of occupancy for the gate. And anything over 4 feet, right, anything over 4 feet, you need an application for the ARB to approve.
Okay.
All right,
I
so
got a lot of fencing.
we're going to table your C of O. Okay?
Okay.
We're good?
I understand.
Okay,
Thank
and
you
if you have
very
any
much.
questions, right, and if you have any questions, you can call Derek Highsmith at our office, and he'll be able to, reiterate what we talked about. So we're going to table the C of O, but you do have the approval for the extension of time for the gate.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your cooperation. Appreciate it. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm going to move on to issuance of certificate of occupancy. HTO East Hampton Distributor LLC, tax map number 300-191-2-9, 86 Industrial Road in Waynescott, and that's Diane. And we're looking for someone possibly on the line. Who was with us last time? What was his name?
Okay, Derek.
Chair, I believe I have somebody on hold if you want me to unmute.
Yeah, it might be Gary.
I'm going to unmute right now.
Okay.
I am unmuted. Gary, how are you?
Gary, hi, welcome back.
There. Hello,
Long night.
Gary. Gary, I have in front of me the elevations that we requested at the last meeting. And unfortunately, they're not exactly as built. On the east side of the building, which is the bottom elevation, there is a very large garage door. I have taken pictures of each thing, Derek, but maybe we'll go through these elevations first. There's 3 big discrepancies. That one that I just mentioned, and on this front side of the building with the pod sign and the red awning, there is a 3rd pedestrian door at the west end of the building. And this pedestrian door that is between these 2 sets of windows has been moved to the east side of the windows, or to the corner. So there are 3 pretty big discrepancies. And because the building is so simple and well built, they're very obvious. And unfortunately, we need to have elevations that concur with the building in order to give you a C of O. Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry. So let me understand, the garage door on the east side.
Let's look at the pictures, Diane, that Diane took.
Okay.
She'll show
All right. Here's the big garage door that's not on the elevations.
I don't have access to it. I'm sorry, I don't have access to these.
It's a pretty big, it's a gigantic garage door.
It's a garage door. But Gary, what are you saying? You can't see it on the screen?
That's correct. I don't have, but I'm familiar with it and I agree with it. There is a garage door there. It was added. We'll have it adjusted on the elevation. And you're talking about the pedestrian door that's on the front, on the left side of the double windows?
Yeah, there's two pedestrian doors on the front of the building. There's this one that has moved from in between the windows to the corner, and then at the other end of the building, there's a new pedestrian door that's not on the elevation.
Okay.
So Gary, the doors that are underneath the red awning, that elevation needs to be updated.
All right, not a problem.
Okay.
Right, and the door added to the other end.
Right, right.
Well, now, what is the other
Other
end?
than
You said
that,
there was
it looks very spiffy.
Thank you.
What else
was
you
the
got,
third
Diane?
That's it. It's these two pedestrian doors on the front and the big garage doors that don't exist on the elevations. Everything else, I mean, everything else seems to be exactly as presented.
Okay.
And the building is very, very beautifully maintained.
Okay, David and Peter, just remind, and Derek, chime in. We can go ahead and approve this as built, and then the C of O would be predicated based on Gary submitting new as-built plans before we go ahead with Derek putting the paperwork through, correct?
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll just have to be a condition on the memo.
Right. Okay. So let's go ahead then, Diane, and make a motion to approve this with the condition on the
that the elevations will be resubmitted to reflect the additional pedestrian and garage doors that have been added.
Right. And based on that, then based on Derek receiving that, you would then say that you could
make a motion to instruct staff to contact the building department to issue a C of O.
Okay, can I get a second on that, Peter?
Second.
All in favor, Esperanza?
Aye.
And Betsy, aye. And Chip?
Aye.
Okay, so with the condition of updated, I'm just making notes, updated elevations as built. Okay, as built plans. Okay, great. All right, Gary, try to get that to Derek as soon as possible so that he can push your paperwork through to the building department.
Not a problem. What's Derek's last name? Because last one went to Michael.
Smith.
Derek, can you give him your information?
Yes, you can email me at dhighsmith@ehamptony.gov.
DH.
Yes, dhighsmith@ehamptony.gov.
Smith.
Also, Gary, you can also call him at the ARB office if you have any questions.
It's on the website.
Yes.
All right, got it.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll correct it right away tomorrow.
All right, great. Good luck, Gary. Thank you. Davis Zeladon, tax map number 300-196-01-06419, Montauk Highway in Waynescott, and that's Esperanza.
Chair,
Yes, so
I'm sorry, we just let you know we do have the caller on the line.
Okay.
Is this Davis Zeladon?
Hello, good evening, board members.
Who's this?
This is Davis Celadon.
Hi, Davis. Welcome.
Hi, Davis.
Hi there. Hi.
Thank you for calling in. So I visited the site, your site, and I think we've spoken in the past. As far as I could gather, everything seems to conform with the resolution that was for, we approved a 6-foot stockade fence with a 6-foot stockade gate, and then a 15 by 16 temporary carport, along with a previous resolution for an accessory building that was 20 by 30 feet. So there's the stockade fence and gate that located behind the plane of the house. there's the temporary carport, and there is the other accessory structure. So unless anyone has any comments, I would go ahead and move to instruct staff.
So you make a motion to approve this for a certificate of occupancy and instruct staff to advise the building department.
I advise staff to, I instruct staff to advise the building department that this application is ready for a certificate of occupancy.
Okay, all right, Davis, you're good to go.
Thank you, board. Good night.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging in there. Okay, James Ratner, tax map number 300-189-4-6, 327 Further Lane, East Hampton, Diane. But before you go forward, don't we have to make a motion to approve these for C of O and everybody do aye?
No, I don't think so. Do we?
Derek?
We've been doing that, I think.
Yeah, we do.
No.
Okay, so let's just really quick go back to Davis Zeladon, tax map number 300-1-6, -196-01-06, that Esperanza made a motion to approve this and instruct staff. Do I get a all in favor? Chip?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Betsy? And Diane?
Aye.
Excellent. Okay, we're back down to James Ratner, tax map number 300-189-4-6, 327 Further Lane in East Hampton, Diane.
Yes, this is for a driveway gate on Further Lane that approved a 5-foot-high white Azek driveway gate. The gate looks wonderful. It's actually only 4 feet 8 inches. The discrepancy is that there are 2 lanterns that have appeared that were never specified in the application. Now, on close examination, these 2 lanterns have 2 little chandelier light bulbs in them. So they almost don't look like outdoor lanterns to begin with. So I know we have no specs on them whatsoever. And the one on this east column is sort of turned upside down. So it doesn't, I'm not sure that it works, or anyway, I didn't take a picture of the upside down, but it's behind that leaf.
The only thing that I want to say is that the top of it, has an exposed glass, and those chandelier
the very top is solid
glass. It's not like it's shielding the light, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Not the top. I understand
right,
that.
The top is solid.
The little, bevel, not bevel, but the little top of the lantern, the top portion of the lantern. Those chandelier bulbs can go up to 40 watts each. So he's got 2 in there. That could be 80 watts, and the other 2, we're looking at 160 watts on that gate. David, we usually run into areas where the lanterns are on top, and if they exceed 6 feet and if they're not dark sky compliant, we by code need to have them removed. But since these are not the height issue, but could technically be a dark sky compliant situation, what do we do in a situation like this? Do we get the building department to go out there to determine it, that we can approve the gate with the stipulation that the building department would, specify whether these are dark sky compliant or not? We did that recently with something, if I'm not mistaken.
You could either do that, or you could table it and have them go in and look at it and make the approval conditional upon that. Either way is fine, to send the building department out there to check for dark sky compliance.
Wait, say that again?
Either way, you could table it and ask the building department to do that in the interim, or you could approve it and make the approval conditional upon the building department approving the lights as dark sky compliant.
Well, since it's a nice gate, let's approve it and then make it conditional, right? Okay.
I agree.
Diane?
Okay, therefore, I make a motion that we instruct the building department to issue a C of O with the understanding that dark sky compliancy of the lanterns will be determined by the building department.
Okay, but you're approving the gate at
The gate at 4 foot 8 inches. Yes, it's very nice.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to ask for a second on that. Chip?
Yes, second.
All in favor, Esperanza?
Aye.
And Betsy, aye, and Peter?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's approved with condition.
Right.
George Shuttleworth, tax map number 300-102-68, 15 Renee's Way, East Hampton, and that's Peter.
This is a resolution for a 7'6" deer fence situated, it says on the application 11 Renee's Way, but this is at 15, so I don't know whether that was a mistake or a typo on it. I've been out to visit the site. The survey indicates the fencing. I've measured it. It is at 7'6", and it is in compliance with the resolution.
Right, and I had asked if this needed a extension of time, and Derek, I think it was Derek, advised me that, yes, it was Derek, that the reason why we didn't have it up for an extension because on the resolution, it didn't note an expiration date. Okay, so I just want to point that out to anybody that was looking at that resolution from 2005. And let me just ask you really quick, Peter, did you say that the resolution said 7 Renee's Way?
The resolution says 11 Renee's Way.
Okay, so Derek, can you make sure that 15 is correct when you go forward with the paperwork?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so go ahead, Peter, I'm sorry.
I'd like to make a motion to have staff contact the building department to advise them that this project is ready for a certificate of occupancy.
Because you're approving the deer fencing, correct?
Yes.
Yes, all right. Can I get a second, Esperanza?
Second.
All in favor, Chip?
Yes.
Betsy, yes, and Diane?
Yes.
All right, we're coming down to the narrow here. James Morgan, tax map number 300-142-1-28.4, 152 Hans Creek Road, East Hampton, Diane.
Yes. This resolution called for an existing white driveway gate with posts at 6 foot 8 inches high, at the lowest part of the gate being 5.8 inches high. Images are, there's another image of it. This is down a very long driveway. Maybe it's a third of a mile or a half a mile, which is why we approved the application to begin with. It's very unobtrusive and it's built exactly to our resolution. So I make a motion that the building department be contacted to issue a certificate of occupancy.
To approve the gate. Okay, can I get a second on that? Chip?
Yes.
All in favor, Esperanza?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Aye, and Betsy. All right, the last one of the evening on page 5 is Whitmore Nursery. Oh, no, wait.
Oh,
Wait,
no,
we got
no.
who has a page?
Another page.
We have a whole other page and one.
Where's my 4th page?
Page number 5.
Page 5.
Page 5.
Where we had Faradib.
Right. Oh, there it is. You know what it is? Because I wrote on top of it, so I thought we had did it, because that was Faradib, right? Okay. All right. Sorry, I thought we were at the end. Bergstein residence, tax map number 300-159-1-18.24, 16 Field Lane in East Hampton, Diane.
Yeah, Field View Lane, yes. this is a new build that had, okay, this resolution was for 3 additions to this very handsome new modern house, a 516 square foot, 1-story addition to the rear side in place of a porch, 250 feet and a new 128 square foot covered porch at the rear, and a new 72 square foot cabana bath under the proposed covered porch. And the last point in the resolution was the reduction of an existing 6-foot fence to 4 feet facing field view. Well, the fence has been removed entirely, which looks much better. And to the best of my knowledge, it has been, could you show the other pictures, Derek? It has been built exactly as specified. These are the additions. And that's the whole house. And this is the hedge, the field view with no fences. So to the best of my knowledge, this is in total compliance.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to make a motion to that the building department be notified that this house is ready for a certificate of occupancy.
Okay, unless I'm wrong, and please, I don't mean to be a stickler. What we would need to do is we need to make a motion to approve this for a certificate of occupancy and advise the building department that is, so we need to approve.
What did I say? I didn't say that.
Great. Okay, Orchard House, I'm sorry. So can I get a second on that, Peter?
Second.
All in favor, Esperanza?
Aye.
Chip?
Yes.
Betsy, aye. Okay. Orchard House, tax map number 300-17204-10.3, 35 Old Montauk Highway in Amagansett. Peter?
This was a resolution that the board approved for an existing fence and gate to be reduced down to 6 foot in height, and both the gate and the fence on either side be painted the gray Benjamin Moore anchor gray. I've been out to visit the site. It has been done. It is in compliance with the resolution. I'd like to make a motion that the staff contact the building department that this project is ready for a certificate of occupancy.
Could I get a second, Diane?
Okay, yes, second.
Chip?
Yes.
And Esperanza?
Yes, aye.
And Betsy, yes. All right. Franklin Rosalia, tax map number 300-112-1-7.3.
What happened?
Peter Lord.
Peter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Peter Lord. You'll have to excuse me. My eyes are starting to go. 300-167-5-2, 7 Thomas Avenue in Amagansett, and that's Diane.
Yes, Derek, is he on the line?
I believe we
Is
have the
anybody
applicant
on the line?
Yes, I believe we have the applicant on the line. I'll unmute right now.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You're
Okay.
live with the ARB. Are you there?
Hello?
Hello, caller. I will say this caller has been on hold the entire meeting.
Oh.
And I will not mute him. I will leave this open in case he stepped away.
Great. We'll come back to him. His name is Peter Lord, hopefully. Okay, Franklin Rosalia, tax map number 300-112-1-7.3, 6 Bull Path, East Hampton, and that is me. And I have been, Derek, there's a photo. This was before us with a resolution to reduce the height of this gate on 6 Bull Path to 6 feet. It was over 6 feet, like 7 feet. The only thing, Derek, that I want to point out is that on the resolution that I didn't, I don't believe this was before us. Did we do this resolution? Did we approve this?
This was from the last meeting.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't catch this, that in the resolved, it says that the slats on the driveway gate are spaced 1 inch apart. I went back and I looked through the meeting. It was never stated that they were, and they in fact are a 1/2 inch apart. So since the resolution hasn't been stamped or routed to the building
No, it has.
department, it has?
Yes.
Okay. So what do we do? Just to correct this?
I'll direct that to David because.
Okay. Because I remember when I was reading it, I thought that I wanted to double check when I went out there, and it obviously went through first. And by the time I got out there this week and measured it, I realized that it was a 1/2 inch, and it was never part of the statement of approval. So we'll figure that out. Okay. So anyway, based on it being 6 feet and they cut it, it's 2 inches over. But the reason being is that it had to be a little bit in order for the framing to, be intact and the area to be a little bit above the framing. So I'm going to grant that few inches on this at 6'2", and I'm going to make a motion to approve this gate at 6'2", and that the openings are 1/2 inch. And advise staff that it's ready, to advise staff to let the building department know that it's ready for a certificate of occupancy. Yeah.
I just have one observation. I just looked at my notes. What I have is that there are 1 inch slats. So maybe there was just a discrepancy.
Discrepancy, right. That says 1 inch apart, right. So that's what it is, Derek. So if we could just get the driveway gate, instead of spaced 1 inch apart, you could either remove that or just say with 1 inch slats. Thank you on that.
Okay.
I'm going to make a note on your Post-it. So when you get my paperwork back here, thank you for that, Esperanza. That's great.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, Chair, if I may. I believe, is Mr. Lord, are you there, sir? Hello, Peter Lord, are you there? Sorry, Chair, I keep hearing things from that phone line, which is open.
That's okay.
Continue.
So I made a motion to approve the gate at 6'2" with the leeway, and that I am instructing the staff to notify the building department that it is ready for a certificate of occupancy. Can I get a second on that, Esperanza?
Second.
And all in favor, Chip?
Yes.
And Peter?
Aye.
And Diane?
Aye.
Okay. Winter Brothers Real Estate LLC, tax map number 300-50-1-23-4, 94 South Emerson Avenue in Montauk. This is a building. If we can pull up the picture. Did I send a picture or you had pictures, Derek? The ones that, yeah, perfect. This was before us, where the top photo is a series of 3 condo units. And what they did on this particular one, which is 94 South Emerson, they covered the upper portion, and it is as we approved, and it is, I'm making a motion to approve this, and that to instruct staff that it is ready for a certificate of occupancy. Can I get a second on that, Peter?
Second.
Thank you. Esperanza?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
Chip?
Yes.
Okay, great. David Palame, tax map number 300-55-4-105 Boulder Lane in East Hampton. Chip?
At our last meeting, we requested the applicant cut down some vertical members of a pair of driveway gates, as well as remove some joining horizontal planks on a fence on either side. I visited the site on Tuesday. They have cut the gate down as requested, and they've also cut down the posts. The posts are now 5 feet 10 inches. The gate's 5 feet 6 inches. We had given him flexibility given the construction of the gate and using the same framework. I feel it is in compliance with what we asked for, and I'm happy to move it forward.
Okay, so you'll make a motion to approve it for
I
CFC.
make a motion that we instruct staff to instruct the building department that the gates and adjoining fences are now in compliance and ready for a C of O.
Can I get a second on that, Peter?
Second.
All in favor, Diane?
Yes.
And Esperanza?
Aye.
And Betsy, aye. Adam Levin, tax map number 300-54-3-185 North Bay Lane in East Hampton, and that's Chip.
This is up in the Grace Estate. We last visited this situation on March 12th. It's a beautiful property, beautiful house. We had asked that the replaced 45-degree angle wood corner posts with black metal poles and make sure that the corner posts are below the height of the 6-foot poles. It has all been beautifully done. There's several of these on different corners of the property. It's elegant fencing, elegant construction. It's a winner. I would ask that the staff instruct the building department to issue a C of O for this property.
All right, can I get a second on that, Diane?
Yes.
All in favor, Chip?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Peter?
Yes.
And Esperanza?
Yes, aye.
Okay, and Whitmore Nursery, tax map number 300-185-1-19110, Route 114, Peter.
This is a house which has installed, based on the resolution, solar panels on the south-facing roof. I have visited the site. It is as per the resolution. It has been installed correctly. I will instruct staff to contact the building department to let them know that this project is ready for a C of O.
Could I get a second on that, Diane?
Yes, second.
All in favor, Chip?
Yes.
And Esperanza?
Aye.
And Betsy, aye. Okay, let's go back to Peter Lord. Is he back on, possibly?
Peter Lord's phone line is open. Mr. Lord, are you there?
Oh, good.
Go ahead, Diane.
Okay.
Wait, let me read this in. Tax map number 300-167-5-2, 76 Thomas Avenue in Amagansett. Diane.
Yes. The resolution called for an 8-foot-high trellis with a single gate attached to the west side of the residence that we approved. Fencing and posts along the west and south portion of the property not to exceed 7 feet. That looks fine. The fencing along Thomas Avenue to not exceed 6 feet, although beautifully crafted and obviously custom made, the posts are 80 inches, not 72 inches. And since this was such a loving project, and Mr. Lord, you were so personally involved, why did you make the posts 80 inches and not 72 inches?
Hello, Mr. Lord, are you there? His phone line is open.
No, the driveway gate, the posts on the driveway gate.
Michael, we have Peter Lord on.
I have Peter Lord's phone open and available. He is not talking.
Yes, he is. We can hear him. We're having a conversation with him.
Okay, I apologize. I can't hear him.
Yes, we
Continue.
can. Keep going, Peter.
Are 72 inches, save the two that are on the larger double gate along the driveway. They were left a little high just because visually it turned out that gate looked a little visually heavy and it felt a little bit more balanced with the posts slightly higher. If it's an issue, I can chop those down. It's not really that big a deal. I just thought it fit in better with the neighborhood and the aesthetics of the gate.
We can't approve anything over 72.
And Peter, the thing is that, you were, this project was before us 3 or 4 times, and we made the exception for the pedestrian gate. And it was very clear that the fronting on Thomas Avenue was 6 feet, period, not 6 feet 8 inches. So I just am so surprised that's such a nicely crafted thing, you know, that you
right.
allowed that to happen. So,
well,
I think you should put them down.
He took artistic license. So, but to Peter's point, we can't approve anything over 6 foot. He said he'd be willing to cut it to 6. So.
Okay. So therefore.
We have to table this because you've got to go back now, and I hate to do that.
Well, can't we approve it with the oh no, I guess we can't.
No, because somebody's got to inspect it before we approve it.
Right, of course.
Certificate of occupancy.
And there's some little mechanism on the post on the left. I didn't know what it was, a camera or a light, or I'm not sure. I don't think it was a light.
Can we see a photograph of this?
I think I did take a picture.
Yeah. Let's just take a look. One last time for all points.
Yeah,
of
that
concern.
just to let you know, that mechanism is a rain sensor that connects to the irrigation system.
Uh-huh. Well,
so before we go forward, I just want to clear this with Derek and David that we need to table this if he's going to cut these down. Derek?
Are you asked?
I am.
Yeah.
Right? Do we can't make a stipulation on this, can we? Or
no?
I prefer to table it.
Okay, David, thank you. And thank you, Peter. Okay, so
right,
Peter, we're going to table this. And when you have that cut, can you notify Derek, and he'll put you back on the meeting for our last meeting of the year, December 10th?
Yes, I will take
Diane
care
will
of
have
that.
to
It will
take
be
it
done
right
next
out
week, and I
again.
will. Okay, I'll take care of that.
Okay, great. All right, so we're going to table that. All right, thanks, Diane.
Okay.
Did I miss anything?
All right, thank you.
I don't think so.
We're there.
I think so.
All right, I'm going to make a note. It's going to take me another 10 minutes.
You don't
We're
have to.
having a cocktail, Betsy.
It's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Okay, I'm going to make a motion to close this meeting. Can I get a second? Diane?
Yes, I second.
All in favor? Chip?
Yes.
Peter?
Aye.
Esperanza?
Yes.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Derek, for all the work on this very long agenda, and everybody did a great job. I'm glad it didn't go to 8 o'clock, and thank you so much, and thank you, Michael. Everyone have a great weekend.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.